Now you can open the meeting.
Okay, so this is a meeting of the Southwick Board of Health, the hybrid. It is Thursday, November 18th at 6 PM. Present at the meeting is Tom Fitzgerald, Health Director, Jean Nielsen, Vice Chair, and Sue Braska. And from 6 to 7, we're going to just have a work session and go through paperwork. There's anything else? Peter, got
The
any?
date, time
Already
of the
did,
meeting.
already did.
Okay, and
So
who's
Peter,
present?
Peter, you got any questions before we start our work session? Can Peter hear us?
Sorry, no, not at this time.
Okay, all right, so
Okay.
we're just gonna have a work session now.
So if you want to just hold on 1 second, I have the things for the permits, okay?
Okay.
So essentially what happens when the checks come in, we have checks.
Can we push this up farther? Does it have to be right?
Yeah, just move him back,
Does it have to be right there? Against us?
okay? There you go, okay? So we have checks that come in, and Jessica had set up, this is what is called a turnover form,
Okay, turnover form.
okay? So the turnover form can have multiple checks that you can record on one piece of paper. The turnover form is specific to a specific account. That's what's important. This account number
Yeah.
has to be on the turnover.
So, yeah.
So what your payment is like from Southwick Food Mart, check number 5097, and it's $260. Okay, but you can do, you can list individually, like the Diane's, what is this? Comfort's check. She had 2 different check amounts, okay? So this Southwick Food Mart has.
So is there a
Oh,
a
no,
blank-
this is one.
blank one of these forms that we can just write on?
Yes,
For each account, you should have a separate one of these, right?
Or is it
it's
just
all under this one
Oh,
account.
it's all under.
So we can have
Right.
one sheet and we can write
We
it all
can,
on?
yes, there can be many on one sheet, okay? So like, for example, this Margaret Fenton, you'd write Southwick Food Mart, check number 5097, and then they gave us a check for $260. This is set up so that I think the amounts will automatically
Add up,
total.
right, okay. So
Okay.
it's just an Excel spreadsheet.
You, and she,
Right.
and Jessica sent you this?
It's on the shared drive under the Board of
Yeah,
Health.
I don't know.
I just pulled it up on my computer there, but I can't pull it up here. I could join in on the Zoom meeting over in my office and share the screen and show you. But we actually have hard copies. So what we're going to do is process this payment. We're gonna put this check on this piece of paper.
Okay,
That's how the money gets deposited to the town. Now, we have their permit, and they're gonna get a retail food establishment for $100. And why are they paying us $260? See, that's, I don't understand.
Is there 2 of them? Is there 100, let's see, 260, okay.
Okay, so this application is $150 for cigarettes, cigars, and electronics. Okay, so it looks like they have two different permits. One for $150 and one for $100.
It's 250.
So this is
So
$250.
they're missing $10 for another permit, a $10 permit. Does that
Yep,
mean-
see,
what does
that's
that mean?
when they knock, there's somebody here that is a guest that wants to be admitted. Valerie, somebody wants to be admitted.
Yeah, that's-
So you have to go over here and
Yeah, Valerie
admit them.
Bird, she's the one that's going to have the contact person.
So we have to take the applications, take the check. And I can't figure out why they paid $260 if this should be for $250.
Is there a $10 fee somewhere?
Can we talk to Valerie now?
Oh, sure, if you
Hey,
want.
Valerie. Valerie?
This is work session now.
She's
Yeah.
not connected yet. See where it says connecting to audio?
No, I don't see that.
Right under her
I
name,
do see that,
connecting
yeah.
to audio.
Hi, Valerie.
So until she finishes connecting to audio, she's not gonna be able to talk to us. Okay, now she's connected, but she's muted herself. So Valerie, you're gonna have to unmute yourself. There you go.
Hi.
Hi there.
We're just doing a work session
Until 7.
until 7.
Okay,
So if you,
You want to log back in?
yeah, because we'll be
yeah,
talking
I'll
about
log back in at 7. Okay,
Sadie some time, because we're just doing administrative clerical work for an hour till the 7 meeting starts, okay?
Okay,
Anybody have a pencil?
Tom has a
I
pen.
got pens.
Okay. So,
So where is this, what is this place called?
See, $10 of milk, could be a milk.
No, we got rid of the,
yeah, we get rid of milk. The only thing I can think of is it's the common vehicular.
Victor, yeah.
Oh,
Victor
that's
for
right.
$10.
Yeah,
yes.
yeah.
That's right.
Okay,
Yeah.
I didn't
So-
find a pencil.
so, there's this little section of here, date received, amount paid,
Yes.
check number,
Right,
retail, blah, blah, blah. So then this will have to be filled out for each of the applications. And then once this is filled out, then you can issue the permit.
don't we have to check and see if they paid their taxes?
That's right. But I don't know where in this process how
Right.
that is done. Okay?
Related,
So,
Melissa asked me tonight, said, did Jessica put in her notice, official notice, and I said, I didn't think so, but I'll check. So, Jessica needs to do this so they can close out her.
right.
But I thought she gave me, I got the impression that she was still gonna kind of help us, or even if we had any questions, she'd
Right.
help us, so maybe that's why she didn't do it.
Right, because she said she was going to come in and talk to you and maybe go over this
Yeah.
and show
Yes.
it to you on the shared drive,
Sure,
but that won't be until Monday.
oh, that's fine, I hope, yeah, so.
Right.
I hope- Yeah, I got it.
So I
Yeah.
said Monday or Tuesday.
Oh, okay,
So she should be able to
I
come
got, I
in,
already got, I
okay?
already got 4 perks scheduled for Monday, Tuesday, because I'm leaving on Thursday for Florida.
Oh,
But
So,
I will, yeah, did you talk to her about that?
I
Jessica?
did.
Okay, so,
Okay,
she should be kind of going over this with me?
right,
Okay,
right.
okay,
But in the meantime.
yes, in the meantime.
Okay, so where's the blank one of these that we can write stuff on?
It's on the shared
Shared drive.
drive under the Board of Health, okay?
All right, so how are we supposed to do this? Okay, we need a secretary.
Oh, there's
Okay.
no doubt about that.
Yes.
Oh, there's no doubt about that.
Now, we can't do
What does that
this,
No, we can't.
No,
okay?
no.
However, I think we may be able to get some immediate help. There's, what's her name? Lisa Anderson.
She's a
She
float.
works as a floater and she works in the select board's office. If they're not too overly busy, maybe we can ask her.
So we'll go through Russ, last Russ.
Right,
Right,
Right.
because Lisa used to,
Work.
Work as
She's-
Board of
She's
Health.
right here, yeah.
What
But
did-
all these forms are on the shared drive.
That's right.
So what Lisa would have to do, if she agrees to it, just take the 2021 files and copy it over to a 2022 file, delete all the 2021 information
Sorry,
and
yeah,
put
yeah.
in the 2022.
No,
And then,
with that
does she
last
have
meeting.
a check-off list of, to go through and say this person paid, this person paid, this person paid?
According to Jessica, this is all on an Excel worksheet.
Okay.
Okay,
So that Excel worksheet should be
So that should,
in the shared drive,
and it should already have all these names on it.
not the turnover form. Because the turnover form, you'll put it in as the checks come in. So the turnover form is filled out with what you have in your hand. So that it's not pre-printed,
Okay.
okay? So you can have this form with 20 different businesses on it, and you only got checks for 2 of them. So that's why this form being pre-printed is a waste.
Okay.
So basically, you want to fill out this form as your checks come in,
Okay.
okay?
what
And then-
does that beep mean? Just a second ago, a minute ago, you heard that
There's a little
noise,
tune.
what did that mean?
I don't know.
Who's
I didn't
on-
hear
who's
a
on
beep.
now? Oh, I did, a minute ago,
Okay.
you were
Peter,
talking.
hang up.
Look down here.
Yeah.
See where it says participants?
Yeah.
That will tell you.
Okay,
It'll tell you here.
but before you had a name, Peter's name was.
Peter probably hung up.
Peter, yeah, okay,
That-
maybe that's what it
Yeah,
was
okay,
Probably
Peter
because his
come
hung
back
name
up.
was on
seven.
there. That's
Right.
That's what I got.
Okay,
Come back to
so
seven.
participants, so you're the only one there, so
Okay.
he probably
Yeah,
just
not that I blame him.
goofed out. Okay?
Yeah.
So,
Okay,
once these are processed, the checks are processed, then all these permits will have to be filled out. Now, Jessica did 2021-03 food service. What is, I don't understand the numbers, how she numbered them. You don't
No
have a
idea.
clue?
No, I had nothing to do with that, she was doing it, yeah, I don't know.
Okay. So what we have to do is ask. What we have to do is ask Jess, where did this number come from?
Is it a different number for each permit?
I believe so. What I think it is the year, and then she keeps them in
Maybe just running numbers.
a running numerical
Yeah,
order,
yeah,
you know?
so it should be 04, 05, yeah, things like that, right?
Right. Like I said, these were just copies.
Yeah,
Okay, shouldn't be in there.
so we would do this, I mean,
Okay.
our board would do this.
We would,
The top.
well, no, I'm hoping that they'll give us help
Oh, that's what I
for
mean.
right now,
What I'm saying. our
okay?
board.
So when Lisa got that date received would be 11/16. I don't know why you have to write it because there's
I
a
know,
date
yeah,
stamp.
Yeah,
Amount paid, it would be the $100. The check number 5079. Food service number, I think would be this number.
Mhm.
Okay? But I don't know what this is because I don't know how Jess creates those numbers.
Yeah.
So we can ask Jess where
So
she
it's either
gets
a
that
food
number.
service or a retail food.
Right, and you can see down here that it's retail food. So it's, retail, because you already got it written down here.
Mhm.
Or catering. And then I bet you this is it, town clerk's initial. This is where the town
The
clerk
tax, make sure the taxes are paid.
makes sure that the taxes are
Yeah,
paid.
yeah.
Okay? So the way I'm thinking this is you get the check, fill this out. And this now goes to the town clerk's office. And this goes here.
Do we cash this before we get the initials?
I
No.
probably wouldn't.
No.
So we'd hang on to this.
Well, we
until
don't, you
get
cash
those
them at
back.
all, do you? I mean, it
Well,
goes
it
to
depends.
town,
Well, it
goes to the
depends.
town,
Yeah.
right,
We
so, yeah.
wouldn't
You'd
submit it.
to
Exactly, don't submit it
accounting.
until it gets
Right.
through, right, yes.
So what I would suggest is that, you know, we keep this. This goes to the town clerk's office. And then you get this. And then write the information up here, you know, 1112. Amount paid for is $300. Check number 1460008, and it's for a retail food establishment. So, oh, these are all their certificates for, you have to make sure that they have their serve safe and stuff
So
like
did this
that.
one have it?
They had, yep, they did. So what I would, the way I would do this is,
I don't see their serve safe.
Unless they submitted it before, and, you know, it's good for 5 years, I don't know, I like to have it submitted every year.
right. So what would I do? What I would do is make a copy of this, keep it with the check, and send the original to the town clerk's office. And then when it comes back from the town clerk's office, then start your turnovers. Sounds complicated, huh?
Yeah,
Yeah,
No, we definitely need some help.
We need help.
No, there's no question about it. I think your suggestion is good.
right.
Lisa, but we also have some other options, I'll talk about it in the meeting.
Okay, so that's the way I would do it. But all of these need to go to town clerk. And then you can process their check. But all these checks have to have this number on them.
What number?
01004 dash
Is that rounding number?
442006.
Must be a bank rounding number, huh?
No,
No?
that's the number that gets deposited into the Board of Health account.
Oh, that's the Board of Health account number.
Right.
Right, it's good. So,
wait a minute, I thought it goes into general
yeah,
fund.
exactly, it doesn't go with the Board of Health.
Goes into
account.
general fund.
Yeah.
That
doesn't
goes
go-
into general fund?
Yeah.
Yeah, we don't get any money.
Yeah, we don't get
Doesn't,
money.
we don't have
Oh.
any money, yeah, no,
Oh.
it's not like doc fees or something that goes to you guys.
Right,
It's
but
not
that's
like
just, if it was a doc fee, it would be a different number.
Yeah.
If it was a
Right.
payment for a notice of intent, it's a different
That's what
number.
we talked about.
That has
one
to
time.
go
We-
into
We
different
talked about that
accounts.
once, going into our own account.
Yeah.
Right,
But it doesn't, it goes into the general.
You
Okay.
could request it, but it has to go through town meeting, I think,
okay,
because at one point it did at conservation.
right. So you need to ask Jess where that number comes from. These are all the applications and shit like that. I don't, I'm sorry. We're being recorded.
Yeah.
These are all the applications. These have already been sent. We don't need that.
Those are just blanks.
Right, okay? So I think that's what we need to do, is for right now, we can fill out the top part of it. And then make copies and send it to the town clerk's office.
Yeah, but we don't have these.
Don't need this, because we're not depositing the check yet. We're only asking the town
It's only
clerk.
going to town clerk to certify those people.
Right.
That have paid, and there's not an issue,
Right.
but she wouldn't hold, in other words, she put a hold on it. And
Right,
she's, yeah, so, okay.
right.
All right, go ahead. Start.
Well, go ahead, you start. Here, you get a pen, you start. Here, sir, here's a pile for you.
What am I doing?
I know,
What am I doing?
I know.
Watch, we'll all do one. Give it, everybody gets one.
Okay. You got one.
Okay, you got one?
Yes,
Okay, give me one. I don't have one.
here's one.
Okay.
Tom have one?
I'm looking at.
So we don't staple these, we just paper clip them?
Okay. So, yeah, keep everything. Now, this is a hauler's permit. That's not food.
Correct.
So we can put that one aside.
So is clean septics.
Okay, put the haulers in a separate. Okay, so now,
So are we putting,
you got a food
are
permit.
you putting the
Construction.
date of the check or today's date?
The date you received it.
45.
Okay, those
Those
are,
are all.
yeah,
The
just
date
get
I
a food
received it.
permit.
Today's 18th.
Look at, no. It was stamped received.
Okay, that date. You're taking
Right.
The red date.
Date received, what's done? So the date received on this one would be November 9th, which is redundant because it already has a date stamp on
Okay,
it.
so, yes, November, so this is November 15th, so that's the date
Right.
stamp, November 15th.
Okay.
November 15th.
So then we would fill out amount paid. How
Okay.
much did they pay?
Now, that's the check, only the check, there's not any case, so that's the check, okay. I'll pay 150, okay.
Right? See?
Check
And how much
number.
did they pay?
What's the check?
150,
Right.
why? Okay, so the check number,
Check has to match, yeah, 26.
1365,
No, it's weird, why do they have catering down below,
because it's,
retail?
because you check off the different services that
No,
they're
but no, I'm
paying
talking
for.
about up top, why is the catering and retail, that doesn't make any sense. There's a, if you're gonna use that, there's other things you can do. There's other
I know.
categories. Way up
See,
top, I'm
because
talking about
look
way up
at, I
top.
know, but you're checking off, this is for a food service and catering. See what I mean?
Yes, but if that was the case, you have all those other categories, in other words, they're,
It's redundant.
yeah, because I
Right.
mean, it's already down here. But-
Right.
And I don't think that anybody they're getting the checks besides us, like,
Okay.
what's her name doesn't care, Michelle doesn't care.
So when this gets fixed next year, okay?
Gotcha.
We're just trying to get
So
through this
we
year.
need to have a list here of the things that they're supposed to attach to this.
Okay,
Because this person here has a certified food protection management thing, has
serve safe,
has a training allergen awareness thing,
right,
and has a
continuing education.
adult child choke
For
saving thing.
safety, yeah,
But they're different. What's a serve safe thing?
ServSafe is the manager. Yeah, they have the. yeah.
right. So what we need also is a
Doesn't it say serve
list.
safe on it?
Yes, well, that's just, don't forget, ServSafe is just one of three,
Does it tell you in you here what has to be attached?
Is there,
in yellow, isn't
is
it?
there a serve safe on here?
Excuse me, I'm sorry, I just tattooed
Yeah.
you.
Okay, so the applications must be in returned with all requested paperwork. What are they requesting? Okay, see,
No,
this
see.
is what they're requesting. Of the food safety manager certification, food allergen awareness certification, and proof of choke saving must be included. Okay, so
Yes, Susan.
this
So
person,
that's 4 things that must be included, or 3?
4, 1, 2, 3, 4.
So they should have 4 certificates.
Okay, this is ServSafe, food safety manager. Is that
Yeah,
ServSafe?
yeah, don't forget,
Okay.
ServSafe is like the Kleenexes to tissue,
Okay,
so there's like, this
Okay.
one, certificate of attendance,
so they got that one.
so that's the same thing as ServSafe, but it doesn't have to be ServSafe, it's just the biggest one.
It's just
Okay.
another name.
It's just the
Okay,
most-
so
it's the biggest
food
one.
Okay, so this guy has, this person has it. other stuff.
Okay,
One,
do they
two.
have food allergy awareness?
Yes,
No, my person here.
okay.
How do I know?
This one doesn't have choke saver, but if people aren't pushing it, then they're not gonna.
This, I have,
Choke saving. This is first aid, but it doesn't say choke
Yes, this
saving.
one does, this one has it. Okay,
What
this
is
one
that?
has
Let me
American
see.
Red Cross. I mean, again, this is American, Cooley Dickinson Hospital.
So this is,
look at, see, mine says allergen awareness.
That's a different one. That's good, but it's a different one.
so would this count as a
Choke saving?
food allergy or choke saving?
Choke saving, I believe, advanced medical certification, boy, that's weird. Yeah, I've never seen that. I would guess that's choke saving, because allergen awareness
Okay.
usually says allergen awareness on it.
So they have choke saving, food allergen awareness. So they need 3 different certificates,
Right.
okay? So this one has 3 different certificates. So this one's okay.
Okay, this one's all right.
This
Oh,
one's
and then on
okay.
the check, we have to put the account number.
And on the check, you put the account number.
On the
And
check, you
and
put
where
the
do they
account
want the
number.
account number on the check?
I just always write it back here.
Okay.
01004
Where do you put
dash 442006.
You put in the backside where they sign it?
Yeah,
Jean just wrote it like this way, across.
yeah, just write it across the top. Okay? So that one's done.
Okay, here's this one.
Where's the other, what's the pile that's done?
We don't have a done pile yet, we just
Why
started.
we just started? Boy,
Done.
You're optimistic.
But didn't I fill out some other ones?
I don't
Yeah,
know.
Put them over there?
No, these are other permits. These are permits that don't need to go to the town clerk's
Oh, yes, they do.
office.
All the permits do. They get licensed from us. So
Oh.
they check all the licenses. Yeah, they have to be. Those are, if the
it-
septic installer
but these
hasn't
aren't the-
paid, they need to be,
But these aren't the
Vetted.
food ones.
no, these aren't the food ones,
Yeah.
but they also have to go through the clerk for.
But
see
it
if they
doesn't
paid
have
their
any
taxes.
place
Well,
on
then
here.
That's gotta be addressed, yeah.
Yeah.
What do we do with the checks?
Oh,
now?
yes, it does.
Okay,
TCC.
What do we do with the checks now?
Just staple them
Keep
back.
them attached,
Keep them attached.
okay?
Okay, now someplace like Shabeli's, they don't need a serve safe, do they, or a choke saver?
They don't have seats.
Right.
They're not a food service.
I have a I have a cigarette thing.
They don't handle potentially hazardous food, so.
So
no,
they don't need any of
They
that.
actually, yeah, they're not 25 seats, they don't have greater than 25 seats. Allergen awareness, I mean, it's a good idea, but people aren't sitting down at their place. Where's the pile?
Of the
Big
done
pile?
ones?
The done ones.
Over there.
Well, on Millie's Country Store,
Oh, wait a minute, retail food service, that's a permit number, shit, excuse me. That's a permit number, that's not an amount.
Right, so you just check it
Just
off.
check.
Yeah,
so this person
which is redundant, Sue. That doesn't matter up top, I don't think.
has not given us the certified food manager.
See, that's what Jess used to do, is send them back and say,
What a
you're
pain.
missing
Yeah.
this, or you're missing
Well,
that.
you know, what we should do is make some way that, we don't get people doing that, because it takes a lot of work, because they
Right.
get fined or something. It's a $10 fee, I'm just throwing this out, maybe. if they-
Okay, so Shabeli's doesn't need any of that stuff, because they don't have
Right.
Okay, here's holler,
This is a holler, I got the pile of hollers here.
here's something here too.
What's that?
Community pantry, our community food they, no fee, the community food
They're no
I
pantry.
think, I
charge.
think there's a no charge.
They're no
in there, yeah.
charge. And they have a serve safe. And they don't feed people there.
Hey,
And they have a
this,
food allergen.
this guy doesn't give the certified food manager, and it's at, they have sit-down food at the Millie's.
See, now this has got to be returned. What Jess used to do, I think, is call them and say, you're missing this.
Yeah.
So do you have like a sticky note that you can put on there saying, contact?
Yeah,
There's some sticky
do.
notes on my desk.
yeah.
So they do have a food service at our community food pantry. So they checked off. But I don't see a choke there.
Well, make a note, missing choke saver.
Unless it's under serve safe. Oh, and you gotta look at the dates of these too, huh? So this one is issue date valid for 2 years.
Okay, those are the installers. You gotta issue. Okay, this guy has. This guy has nothing attached.
What is it for?
Parthenon, he has no certifications, nothing. He has no forms attached, okay?
How long is the serve safe good for? 5 years?
5
you
years
said?
typically, yeah.
Okay. Same with allergen awareness? Probably that's a
Yeah.
one-time thing.
I actually don't remember
Does serve safe include the choking?
that. No, that's the American Red Cross.
Can I have a,
Yeah, sure can.
Yeah,
yeah,
Our Lutheran Church, we're charging them, right? Yeah, yeah. Oh, that's daily grind.
oh shit, what I think up here, food service number and retail food number, I bet you that's the number of the permits.
yeah.
That's what has to be written up there, Tom, it's not redundant. You know what I mean?
Food service number, you mean?
Yeah, those are
Yes.
the permit numbers.
The permit numbers, like this, needs to go up there,
Well,
but we don't know what it is,
that's right. That's right.
so.
Now,
So
this Christ
this,
Lutheran Church, she has 3 things, but she doesn't have included. Let's see if it's the same. Patrick Lynch, that goes. This goes with. Is the rail trail ale house in this one?
No, yeah.
I thought they put that, I thought it was
Yeah.
completed in it. It's just.
okay. This one needs all 3 because they have nothing.
Yep, I got another one that has the same, it's got nothing.
And let's put the ones in a pile that need,
Yes. Okay.
where's the ones that need something? That
Start up
one?
in the air. Sue, if you have anything that has the same category,
Just this community thing. No choke saving if they're gonna of
They
food
don't eat,
service.
they don't eat food
Where's
there.
their
They don't
check?
have-
She's got it, she's got food service, less than 25 seats.
Where's their check?
They're no charge.
Oh, okay. Okay, here's another installer. Here's another installer.
So the ones we kicked over there, we're not putting anything on top, right? We're not putting
No.
anything, right?
No.
We're just kicking into this.
And here's another installer.
He dropped off paperwork with no application. Do you know who this person is?
I wonder if this is Xantos.
Or Parthenon, Xantos or Parthenon?
Xantos, I'm wondering if this is Xantos, which I just had here.
I thought you had, oh, maybe you did, right?
Let's see. Does it have? It says they certified it expires 2 years from the date of issue. Regardless, we should have it. You know what I mean? They should provide us a copy. This might be Xantos.
What is it saying in there? What is it? Yeah, that's the guy.
You're
Xantos.
positive
Oh,
it's
yeah, that's his
Xantos?
name. Oh, that's his name.
Okay,
Yeah,
so-
Xantos. Oh, yeah, that's definitely.
So this goes with this, which means he has them. So he can be processed.
Southwick Package Store, now, because they don't have a whole lot of food,
Prepackaged. If it's all prepackaged,
so they don't have to do one.
no,
But they have a
Yeah.
cigarette one.
right, so they
the
have to back up,
cigarette.
but if they have all prepackaged food, remember we had that issue when it first came out,
Yeah.
when the code
Yeah.
changed, that we couldn't go after, we couldn't inspect.
Oh, I haven't been writing the account number down.
And that's, neither have I. It's not a big deal.
The Rhode Island, used to be Ames. Where
Ocean
Ames
State.
was.
Ocean State.
Ocean State, I knew it was Rhode Island, I said Rhode Island, I knew it was. How quickly you forget, I haven't been there.
So retail food,
These are kind of done, but they're not really, right? They're not done.
right, but they have everything.
Yeah.
They have
As opposed to
everything.
these, yeah, yeah, yeah.
Right, those are the ones that have everything.
Okay, Susan Duffy has everything, okay.
Hi,
Hi, Terry, how are you?
thanks for coming.
Thanks for being here when I got.
You want a comfy seat?
Anybody, is this space open?
It's open.
Absolutely.
That's what I like to see, checks.
Yeah, well, they're not getting deposited.
Hi.
No, hi.
Hi there.
Hello.
We're in the wrong
What are you looking for?
culture council.
Culture Council,
Cultural, yeah.
Cultural.
they're down.
Cultural.
The only other ones that I know are meeting are the The master plan people.
Mm.
I didn't know cultural council
Yeah.
was meeting.
Is it out there? Posted
Check the
outside?
bulletin
Well,
board downstairs.
There's one downstairs too, a bulletin
Well,
board.
yeah, look, but
Yeah,
thanks.
yeah.
Good seeing you.
Yeah, checks, but we don't quite know what we're doing.
We don't have a clue.
Yeah,
No?
so yeah, that's one of the things we need.
This
We
is
need a
room 200,
secretary.
right? This is room 200.
Well, I'm a sexy
Is the
Terry.
land use meeting?
doesn't
room?
help though,
Does it
right?
say it?
Hearing,
Oh.
land use hearing.
We're
room, that's what
recording.
we are.
Oh, sorry.
Land board's hearing room?
This
Well,
is our,
it used to be
Well, I
called
just wanted to
land
make-
use
I
meeting
know, but I
room.
just want to make sure
it's our
that
work
we weren't
session.
the wrong way.
Yeah,
We didn't post it.
Heart Saver CPR, is that a
Yeah,
choke thing?
yes. That, yes, chokes
Okay.
it, yes.
Now, are these filed all together? We can't just staple them, huh?
what do you mean? No, we just, no, we need, because we need to make copies and stuff like that, so. Okay, so. These.
So you didn't write the account numbers on the checks?
No, I didn't. I didn't. Don't worry about it. Don't worry about it, because these aren't getting ready to be deposited anyways. Are there any more haulers?
Yes.
That's a
Waste.
hauler?
Well, it's, yes, county
Or
waste.
waste? Yeah, okay.
Crepes Tea House, Crepes Tea House, they have two separate ones, I don't know why. CVS Pharmacy, no, that's it.
Okay,
That's
so,
Having fun yet?
Yeah. So
Because
is this like a
these-
normal amount of
this isn't even all of it.
incoming checks or?
We don't do this.
Yeah, we
No.
don't know.
No, this is not something we do.
No.
We do, that's why we started at 6 to 7, just to try to figure, because we're missing people. That's why you're here, partly.
To help us out.
Yes.
Yeah, I mean, we're missing people to do that, secretary.
Yeah, no, I mean,
clerical.
I know the importance of a secretary.
Yeah.
I just didn't know if that was like, you
Well,
don't
so
have,
we don't,
No.
the answer
you
is,
don't get a list.
we don't, well,
No,
we
we
get.
don't know what we're doing, number one.
Yeah.
Well, I mean, this is something that is foreign to us, because
Yeah.
all this accounting stuff goes, we don't do it.
But if there's a victualer's license, shouldn't there be some kind of check off here that,
Common vicular?
yeah, shouldn't there be a check
That's
off
an
here?
old term.
Right, shouldn't it be?
Yeah, because
indicated
it's
here?
got
'Cause
the board, the select board are the ones that issue the common vicular's license.
Yes,
Not the Board of Health.
correct.
So all of these are haulers. These need to go to TC office.
Down one flight, mostly all the way to your left, just
See,
keep
this is my
following it.
thing. Why do they need a social
You can
security
either go
number on
out
here?
the doors that will be straight
Should.
ahead of you.
We shouldn't have a social
No.
security.
No,
Probably
number.
go
Federal-
through it that way.
Or
and then
federal ID.
Once you go
Something
through
needs
that,
to
you'll
be
see
revamped.
people coming in
We
and
don't
out
want
of
to
the
be
auditorium.
responsible for that,
Well, sometimes they're federal ID numbers.
You got-
Yeah, federal ID is okay.
but
yeah.
we shouldn't have a
Okay.
social
That's
right.
security.
All
Right.
of these need to go to town clerk's office just to get signed off by them. These are just the haulers. They don't need ServSafe or anything else. So once the town clerk signs off on these, it should be okay to issue their permits.
So so do we hold those checks until they sign off?
Yeah. Yep. Because if the town clerk's office says, no, they owe taxes, and
You don't
we've
process that,
deposited their check,
Right, so that's.
then
yeah.
we have to do a
That's why that's gonna be the
reimbursement,
last
blah,
thing.
blah,
Right, yeah,
blah.
no, that definitely makes sense.
Okay,
Okay.
so, but we're not gonna do any of that right now.
Right,
I mean, we're not gonna submit anything right now. till
No.
We see about a secretary.
well, I didn't realize it was that late.
What time is it?
It's quarter of.
Yeah, I mean, time flies, we started at 6, and
Yeah.
we just having such a good time just flies.
Right. So the ones you have there, Sue, have everything?
Yes.
They
We
need,
need some paper clips and stuff. We'll go
Yeah.
find some.
go to my office, I'll go.
I have that little box too.
Okay, this is,
So,
Do you have that letter that I gave you? You still have that letter?
I wrote all over it.
Okay, I know I have a copy.
You have
but
a
I wanna
bunch- you
give
had a
it to
bunch of
Terry.
them.
Yeah, I know, and just, we had kind of a couple letters to talk to the select board about it. You would obviously want to use it as well. Just about what we do and why we do it. We do it with.
I was missing something, I forgot your, oh, there, I printed up your,
Yeah, you had
Request
copies
for-
I know
in
I
your
did.
hand.
your request for what you were looking for now, what the health director does.
Yeah, the job description, yeah.
Job description. I had that. But
Yeah,
of course, I
no,
looked at it all.
This was the letter that I wrote her for that committee meeting, but because of the import of that meeting, it was like we were like a minor. We were not, oh, there's Mr. Fox.
Hi. We're recording because we're doing that work session from 6 to 7.
Okay,
Oh, no, you can sit here.
come on up here, gonna take this first.
Thank you.
Save you a trip.
All right. Bob Johnson dropped us a check for 500, like he said it was.
Who?
Bob Johnson, the electrician.
Oh, okay.
So we'll be able to, we raise all the money, we'll be able to make a sizable donation to the Children's Hospital. You know,
And we are being recorded too, so.
Oh, yeah, our work session from 6 to 7, which we're not, we have to talk to you about a secretary. We don't really know what we're doing.
Want us to wear a face mask?
No, that's just me. I pretty much wear it everywhere.
Right. You know, we have a little,
Yes. But I have to bring it up at our meeting.
okay,
Okay, so these are the ones that,
I thought you had Tic Tacs there.
yes, that's what I need, a
oh, no,
bunch
we
of
need
mints.
those big clippies. Those big black clippies.
Sue, you
Yeah.
didn't specify big and black clippies. I'll go see, I don't think I have big black,
We need biggies.
I don't have biggies.
You just look in all the drawers there. Or these are possibly done.
Now, these are all made out to Board of Health or
Town of Southwick.
down in Southwick?
Yeah. But we have to print out permits and put permit numbers on here. We need permit numbers.
I can spare you 4 of them, 5 of them. That's all I had in my budget. Okay. Okay. Oh, we don't have a sign-in sheet, Tom, do we? See how, we're just not.
Our secretary used to do that, that's
Yeah.
what we need.
Permit number and permits.
We need a signage.
You lost the secretary too.
Yeah.
And
We
Yeah,
lost our
nurse,
health
nurse.
director, our secretary, and our
Nurse.
health nurse,
That's why we're,
all within a
that's why we're
month.
doing clerical work right now.
Yeah.
We don't normally do this. So,
And
and that's
Jessica,
our meeting with you today.
Yeah.
Jessica's a school bus driver, so before she goes out, and I'm her supervisor.
Yeah.
So before she goes out on a run in the morning, I'm gonna say, how do you do this?
Because Jessica used to do it, right?
Yeah.
But she doesn't want any part of it anymore.
She's got too much.
But she did say,
She
even
helped
though
out
she
in the short term?
officially, yes, she did, even though her last date was Monday, I think.
Yeah.
She says, I'll come back.
Help.
And, yeah,
Should
show
we
us
get
what to do, work with Tom, show how,
The new
A, B,
person.
C, and D. Well, there is no new person
We don't have one.
But
And
gotta
we
try to
can't-
So
find
we're
her.
talking, we're
Hold
talking
on.
tonight about it.
to these checks and the permits. These are food permits. They have to be done before.
Okay, so
It has
here-
to be in their
so here I
hand before
have-
January 1st.
Need permit number and permits and need town clerk sign off.
Okay, and this
And they-
just needs town clerk sign off.
Or not giving it to them because we got to separate the checks.
I don't know.
Yeah,
I don't know. Do they go to the town clerk's office with the checks and the town clerk send them back? So that's another question I'll have to ask
okay,
Jess,
so
okay?
there's that pile.
So there's that pile.
I don't know what this one is.
See, now I even lost my pen.
I steal it?
No,
This
Susan.
one here.
Okay, so here, you get that one, I'll get this one. Okay, do the checks, do the checks. Go to the TC office.
Hey,
When you send,
I was at the rec center meeting last night and this came to our,
Attention, yeah, okay,
do we do that?
yeah.
okay, that's another question I'll have to
That's
ask. her.
exactly what we're doing.
Yeah, I just didn't, because it asked number of people and all that stuff. So I said,
Sure.
I'd ask you,
Yeah, that's just what we're doing right now.
okay, so we just put down rec center.
Yeah.
But when you get down here,
Yeah, I mean, once you, let us look at it.
okay.
Yeah, because, again.
So they're
some-
asking me and I said I
Yeah.
happen to be coming here tonight. So
And some of the stuff of processing and checks, we don't know either.
Yeah.
So that's why we're,
Isn't the rec service, that's nonprofit, is that a no charge?
I don't think we charged you.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
So we just put down the rec center and the address
Yeah.
and give it to you?
Yeah,
Okay.
Yeah.
And then we
Yeah.
don't charge the schools either.
Yeah, we don't
Yeah.
charge the schools and,
We
you know,
didn't charge that community kitchen.
Okay.
right.
All right, I'll just have her
Okay.
just fill that out and get that back to you by,
'cause that's,
So-
yeah, that's literally what we're doing right now.
Okay, well,
by
I
November
think
3rd.
we're,
Well, that's coming up
Done.
quick.
yeah, I think we're almost done. So these,
So Jess is gonna come in and see me on Monday?
I don't know when
Oh,
she's gonna
okay.
come in. I have a few questions I can ask her.
Okay.
Um, I'm thinking if I can okay, these need certificates.
Okay, it's almost 7 o'clock. so
Right.
we'll be meeting.
So our work session's almost over here.
Hey, did anybody have our original, when we posted it and Tammy took the position, our letter that we put out, our ad for the price range?
Well, she was, oh, for the price range?
Yeah.
I just have what
didn't see
she
it
was
in the-
making.
The latest
Yeah.
posting. I never saw it,
No.
there wasn't a salary range that I saw when it was
There was a
advertised.
salary range when we originally advertised it. This isn't even Board of Health. Board of Health application for hauler's license.
Yeah, that's us,
And look at, this is,
that is us.
but this is the certificate of insurance. That's supposed to go to the select board's office.
No, I think it's part of the regulations, as I
Oh.
recall, that was, yeah.
Okay,
We
so
wanna
this-
make sure if they're doing stuff in town, if they're picking up,
Okay, so this one's
If there's
okay
a-
to process because it doesn't need the town clerk's approval.
not necessarily. What if the
Because they
person-
don't own, they're from Enfield, Connecticut. They don't have any tax liability in the town of Southwick.
I don't know.
We're
Maybe,
still gonna
guess
need a
so.
permit and a permit number.
Right, but no tax liability. I mean, no sign off by the town clerk's office,
Okay,
okay?
so we're gonna put this aside and start our regular meeting. I don't know where Mackenzie is.
Neither do
She isn't,
I. Okay,
not
so,
to get in, right?
no, there's nobody on the Zoom. See, if there was somebody on the Zoom, it would show up here.
I think Valerie's gonna call back in.
Or see where you, where you have the participants right here.
Yeah,
So you have to click on that, and that will go away. In order to get, are you paying attention?
no.
Are you paying attention?
Yes.
Okay, so.
Look at- look.
Russ is on there. Hi, Russ.
Copy of this. You gotta get a copy. You don't have a copy of that.
Oh,
Look at,
Yes, he does.
what, this one?
Okay, so
No, that's just a letter.
Oh.
No, this is just.
now do we have
Oh,
to,
okay.
Just that.
do we have to adjourn our work session or do we just go right into our regular meeting?
I think we can go into the regular
You
meeting.
Okay.
you just say, we
You
are
just
now,
say we're
So
now,
So
Right.
now we have a regular,
Yeah.
starting our regular meeting. I would say
who's here?
Yeah.
Sue Braska,
Jean Nelson,
Tom Fitzgerald, our health director, and we have visiting with us Russ Fox and Terry Mish.
Russ Fox, Select Board, and Terry Mish, Finance Committee.
And it's Thursday, November 18th at 7 PM.
Okay,
And I would ask for public comment, but
There's
there is no
nobody.
public comment. I would ask to review the minutes. The minutes that we were sent are October 21st. Where's the November ones? Any idea?
no, I think Jessica had sent them, but quite honestly, I hadn't had 2 minutes to look
Well,
at them.
there was something she sent which we couldn't open, and then she resent it,
She
but
resent
they
it,
were
right?
October 21st.
Oh, really? They were the wrong ones?
So
Okay.
let's make a motion to put the minutes aside since we don't
Yeah.
have any.
I second the motion to table the minutes from the last meeting.
All in favor of tabling the minutes until we get them straightened out?
Mackenzie Kane, yes.
Jean Nielsen, yes?
Sue Broski, yes. Okay, public comment, there is nobody on. So we can actually go right into meeting with Russ and Terry, or do we have 7:15?
Valerie is on.
Okay.
Okay, we're gonna,
Okay,
we're gonna meet, talk to Russ and Terry, okay? All right. So, as we were talking about, we don't have a health director, we don't have a health secretary, and our health nurse is given her resignation, but what's the update on that?
Well, she's still working until we can find somebody.
Till we can
sort
find
of,
somebody.
Yeah,
The contact tracing, I think, was just too much for her.
so as a matter of fact, I have contacted Valerie Berger's contact tracing now, and I asked her if she'd be willing to, if the board approves, be a contact tracer for the, she does a couple of other towns. Hi, Valerie.
At what? Hi, Valerie, this is Sue Braska,
Jean Nielsen,
Mackenzie,
Mackenzie
Mackenzie.
Kane. And joining us is Russ Fox, our selectman, and Terry Mish from Finance. At what, and she's doing for contact tracing?
Yes.
I'll let you do the talking, because you know her. At what fee?
Well, Valerie, you said you'd be willing to do it for 20 per hour, $20 per hour.
Can she hear you?
Valerie?
Valerie, can you hear Tom?
I can. Okay, go ahead.
You'd be available to do it for $20 per hour?
I would.
now, Russ, is she going to have to fill out an application
Yeah,
as a town employee?
I already got that.
Or
Or
do
we
we
could
pay
do
her?
I already talked to Laura.
Oh,
Okay.
you already
Oh,
have
yeah,
it?
I've already
Yeah.
talked to Laura. Well,
Oh,
anyway,
okay.
whoever we hired, this is not necessarily
Right.
just, that
Yeah.
includes, later on,
Right.
we're talking about that.
How does she want to do it, per diem or an actual employee, or?
I think she was still, Laura was still looking into that. It depends on if it was a new position or taking it out of the nurse's budget.
Yeah, yeah.
So there's a couple of different ways to do
Yeah.
it. And she was gonna be consulting with her people. But
Yeah.
I did talk to Laura, so at the least, she needs this information, no matter what category she puts it in.
Right.
I have it I have 2 copies that I'm gonna send out, one to Valerie if the board agrees, and the other one, I'll talk later about the placement.
But-
Comes.
from Valerie, we need something like a resume or a letter or something, who you are, your experience, something like that, so we know. I don't know, Valerie.
Valerie, you want to give a little
Yeah,
breakdown of your experience in this work?
Okay, so I started doing the Maven, probably I'm gonna say from 2003, maybe 2004. I was trained in Maven to do the small towns. I was the health agent in. And in those towns, well, I've been doing Maven for Tallinn since 2004. And I also was the director of public health for the city of Greenfield. And I was doing their Maven training after the mayor decided to let the public health nurse go during COVID. So I've been doing Maven for quite a while. I am not a nurse. I was an EMT for several years. I also taught CPR. But I have been trained in Maven for quite a while. The only thing I can't do is, I will tell you up front, is I can't do, I'm not a TB nurse. So if you have a tuberculosis case, they would have to go to their doctor for that.
okay. And Valerie, Tom has all your contact information, your address, your phone number, your
He
last.
does.
What is your last name?
Excuse me?
What is your last name?
Nickerson Bird. It's Nickerson-Bird.
Now, you're willing to work on a temporary basis?
I can do it on a temporary basis until you hire a nurse, or I can do it for a little bit longer until you find somebody that fits. Like I said, I have been doing it for the town of Tallinn for several years.
And you're familiar with Maven, you won't need any help or training on that at all?
No, I don't need any training on Maven, no.
When and if we do hire a health nurse, and if she doesn't have, he or she does not have Maven experience, would you be able to do training with that?
Okay, so they would not get their training from me, they would get their training from the state.
All right.
If she or he had questions, I would certainly answer those, but they would have to get their training from the state, which is where I got my training from.
Okay.
Okay.
All right, so Russ, what do we need to get her on board until?
I think Laura's already working on it.
Yeah.
You have a budget already established. So it's, if you've lost your last person, there should be enough funds there. Okay?
Right,
And with all these positions, when we talk about them, we're all gonna talk about how we're gonna come up with the extra money to do everything.
okay.
Now, do we still have any money from the state for, do we have anything left?
From
Is
COVID?
that CARES money?
CARES money?
Yeah.
Yes, and who would know that?
Carl would know that.
Carl.
or Robin was handling a lot of that.
Okay,
Would know whether we
So
had any left.
we can find out if there's still filings that we can do, you know? Boy, oh boy. We better check on that right away,
yeah.
now.
Or if there's a remaining budget
I thought there was a
that we
remaining
haven't
budget.
there is.
expended. I think there's like 5,000 or 7,000 in there still that we haven't expended
I
yet.
think so.
Yeah.
There's 7 months left on the, on the budget
For CARES?
for you
No, for
guys,
us.
For
for
us.
your board.
Oh,
Yeah, just about almost 3,000.
yeah,
All right,
so,
so it's November, right?
yeah.
7 months,
Okay,
till end of June.
all right. But COVID, that's certainly unforeseen, it's an emergency, you know, if we saw a shortfall, that would be a legitimate request to the finance committee.
Yeah.
Correct?
Yeah.
Okay,
So if there is CARES money, we would use that up first.
right,
Right,
Oh, yeah,
right.
definitely.
absolutely.
And I'm wondering if there is any left because she's gone into the nurse's budget. So I wonder if there is anything left.
All right.
But didn't they just approve, did the state just approve more money?
I can't even keep track of it lately. You know, I don't think anybody can keep track of it,
yeah,
to tell you the truth. They keep throwing money here, throwing money there, and, I mean, look at the money we gave to the school. You know, we gave them $86,000, you know?
Isn't there like millions coming to them too?
No, that's, I don't think the school gets that,
That's
no.
the,
But
that's what was in the paper?
Well, that money is for like sewers, water lines, internet, things like that. You know, because we're gonna be using it for the pumping stations, we're gonna be using it for the water lines, you know, increased water flow, things like that. But that million, that's already chewed up, and then we'll get our second million plus.
Okay, so in the meantime, then, we should post the health nurse position.
And we probably can find that old posting. Carl, if
We'll
you
have
can't, if you don't
something
have
here.
it, Carl must
Posting.
have it.
Right, but let's finish here with
Exactly,
what we
that's
have.
what-
Let's,
that's
you
what I was
know,
gonna say.
we can stop
Valerie.
jumping.
So we're gonna have Valerie and,
Right.
Yeah, so as long as Valerie's
Make a
willing to
motion, yeah.
work, and then Tom is going to work with Laura in the accounting department to figure out how you're going to get paid. You're willing to do it. I am going to make a motion to
oh, wait a minute.
hire,
Okay, one more thing too. Can you like report to Tom, how do you want to do this on our town site?
Yeah.
Um,
We can work that out. I mean, how was it reported before?
well, there was an Excel worksheet that, you know, basically gave our town numbers. Are you comfortable with that?
Valerie knows you're talking.
Valerie?
Excuse me?
Are you comfortable with making a presentation like weekly, bi-weekly with the numbers? And
Certainly.
a worksheet?
Yes, I
Because-
can do that. That's what I've been doing now with Tom in another town. In Granville, I've been doing that. I've been letting him and the chair of the Board of Health know what we have for cases.
So then Tom can then give that to, what is it, Jim Middleton to put it on the site?
I don't
Some of
think-
this stuff comes from the state directly.
Yeah.
and
Yeah.
I don't think they've been putting it on the town website.
I think we just, when you have your meetings, it's
Yeah.
updated at your
Yeah.
meetings.
Oh, I thought it was every Friday.
Well,
on
she was
TV.
doing it every Friday and sending it out, but I think it was part
But
of
that was
your,
during the
your meetings, you know?
real,
You're right.
real intense part of it.
I don't remember getting one lately.
No, it's been just going out every 2 weeks in that Excel
Well,
worksheet
we
to
just
us.
got one, which I can barely see it,
With the colors,
my
with the yellow
phone.
and red, the high.
Right,
blow it up.
Yeah,
right,
that comes from the state.
right. So it doesn't go on the town's website anymore. You know, all those COVID alerts and
Right.
everything. It's just
No,
basically
just the
a
numbers. I
number.
think people want the numbers, just how many positives we have.
You could just
Okay.
announce the meeting.
Yeah.
Well, Valerie could do that.
Yeah.
to us, 'cause
Yeah, I can do that.
She can give that to me.
Yeah, or you can
present.
give it to Tom, if, you know,
Absolutely.
you don't have to go to all the meetings or whatever.
Yeah.
Yeah,
And we
Okay.
meet every other first and third Thursdays.
Okay,
and you can join, or you can just work with Tom.
okay. That sounds fine.
And you know, if you can join via Zoom, just to give us a verbal update,
Okay,
would be appreciated, but
okay.
not
But you
mandatory.
can work it out with Tom. So go ahead and make it.
I already made the motion.
Okay.
You make it.
No.
That's fine.
Okay, I make a motion.
Okay, so there, just so you know that there are other cases besides COVID. There are other health issues and there are other diseases that come through Maven besides COVID.
Right,
Are you willing to do those? I'll follow up on
Oh,
those
sure.
also.
Sure,
Until-
I can do those. The only ones I can't do are the TB cases. I don't know if you've had any of those. In the few years that I was in Greenfield, we only had one.
right,
Well, hopefully you don't
So
have
you
any.
probably won't have any.
right, until at least we get a health nurse. you
Right,
know. Let's cross our fingers,
okay.
okay? Now,
Yep.
Go ahead.
now can I make a
Yes, you
motion?
may.
Are you sure?
Yes.
Okay, I make a motion to contract with Valerie, payable by whatever means that Tom can work out with the accounting department, to hire her as our temporary
Contact tracing.
contact tracing reporter, okay?
I second it. All in favor?
Kenzie Kane, yes.
Jean Nielsen, yes?
Sue Broski, yes.
Okay,
All right.
it's unanimous,
Thank you.
you're all set, you worked
Thank
with
you.
Tom
Okay.
on it,
Thank you,
okay?
Valerie.
Thank you.
Okay, thank you.
All right.
Okay, and
Hey, Valerie, question too, if people,
she's gone.
She's gone for
And
BIRD.
just, that's another sidebar while I'm
Yeah.
thinking about it.
That's a spe- is that
We have
your
nobody to
spell?
do the minutes.
Okay, so I just got hired in Southwick.
Okay,
Yes.
Valerie, you're still on.
Can we,
Okay, so you can turn that on.
can we take her off? She doesn't, no, she's still on. I was gonna ask her, hung up there,
Okay.
could she answer questions too? Like, remember we had, Randy was asking about, a COVID exposure and how long that they had to be isolated or,
That's exactly what they do, yeah, that's
Quarantine.
exactly what
but
they
is
do.
that something that Valerie would be
Yes,
able to answer
She's taught, yeah,
questions?
yeah,
Okay.
and if not, I'm working my way up to proficiency in that area. We do have other people that are involved with this, and
Okay, all right, so for our health nurse, should we post this same
Well,
posting that we had
did you
before?
jump up right past what I just mentioned?
What did you mention?
That we don't have a secretary. Minutes will not be done on Board of Health meetings until somebody shows up.
Right.
Okay?
So,
So what happens in that case?
well, you have your recorded
That's all.
minutes,
Yeah,
okay?
right,
So those are available for the public,
yes.
all right? And then someone could just do, hopefully, you think she might help us out in the short run or no?
I think she'll help us with the permits, but I doubt if she'll do the
Okay.
minutes.
So we
What
have
are we
to,
talking about?
Jessica,
right, so we need to find a floater and/or someone that'll accept a part-time secretarial position for a board. So, and like every position, it's tough. But what we can do is we can immediately tomorrow see if we can't put out the feelers. You meet twice a month,
first and third.
first and third. And so that person,
Sometimes it changes.
right, they need to take the minutes for that meeting. Do you want any other requirements?
permits, setting up
Okay.
permits.
Permits.
Take care of permits.
Yeah.
Now, how does it work with the position in the building inspector health office?
Well, she primarily works for the building inspector.
Okay.
But she does answer the phone and does some small stuff. She's very
Okay.
helpful.
Okay.
Mary's very helpful, but she's got a lot on her plate too.
Right, oh, yeah,
I
yeah.
asked her,
Yeah, I was
and
just,
she said,
And right, I mean,
Yeah.
she's, but she's excellent, but, just you recall several years ago, there
Yep.
was two people in that office.
right,
And maybe one was a floater sitting there most of the time, but we had two people, and obviously we only had one in a quarter now.
all
Now-
right, so we need a part-time secretary at a bare minimum that can, two night meetings. And what were they doing, how many hours during the week?
Jessica
question.
was 5 hours, but you got a letter to increase it to 10 from.
So we need somebody,
Tammy
Yeah, she
and-
couldn't,
10 hours plus the two
yeah,
night
she
meetings.
wasn't able to do it.
well, no, the
because-
10 hours will include the 2
Okay.
nights.
Yeah.
So 10 hours. Okay.
Because she was just
But- and that- and
overwhelmed.
on average,
Right.
two night meetings.
Yeah. And 10 hours a week. So those 10 hours could be 2 hours a day, specific
Right.
times,
And it's
or,
basically $15 an hour, $150 a week, right? Isn't, I think that's what we're paying right
it's
now,
15:30,
15.30?
yeah.
The last, what I don't have last year's, but
Do we
you
got-
were at like $3,700 in your budget in FY '21.
I have 4,094.
So, yeah, I'm only looking at the year before.
We've only
So
used
we
33.
got 4,000, what do you got now?
How much
94. We only have 2,739
Yeah,
left.
Left.
27,
Okay.
yeah,
2,740.
that's still.
2,740 left.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Mhm.
it's
So
rounding
June
it up
30.
a little bit.
Okay. So we need, but we're gonna increase the hours. So we're gonna have to, well, Carl gave me this list. All right, of different things where we could see where we could pull money. One of his things was the nurse grant, if it's possible to take any money out of that. Then he also had the difference between Tom's per diem rate
Right,
and what's left in the budget there.
right.
No, it comes out that
No,
Tom is
yeah, Tom is-
$29 more a week,
Okay,
Yeah, but
except you don't have benefits.
I'm not working, yeah, and I'm not working as many hours, so it's no question it's gonna be less. There's
No,
gonna
no,
be a
it's
No,
not.
surplus.
It comes
no,
out
it
more,
comes out
$29 more a week per week than what Tammy was getting, but you're not getting any benefits.
Right.
all right, so there might be some, no, there's
No,
no
there's not.
money
There's
There's
not
not
going to
gonna
be
be
any
any
money left in what?
At the
we
end of the-
paid
in
Tam.
hers.
No,
No.
Okay,
no.
all right, so we can't, that doesn't look like an option.
No, because
Okay.
Tammy, if you break it down, her hourly rate was like $32 and some odd
Yeah.
cents.
$31.23.
Yeah.
And Tom's 50.
Weekly Tammy got 1,171.
200, yeah, we rounded up to 200.
Okay, and then Tom's getting 1,200,
Okay,
but no benefits.
okay.
Right. So
All
his hourly rate is more.
So that took care of
But
that.
that's-
That's not an
We're not gonna
option.
have anything there.
Okay,
No, that's gone.
all right. So we need to come up with, well, we can do the calculation and figure it out.
Now Jessica, well, Tammy and the building inspector wanted to up it to 10 hours a week, right? And
Mhm.
Jessica felt I needed more time too. She was overwhelmed.
Yes.
Right.
So
So
we'd be doubling it, right, from 5 hours
from 5 hours a week to
to
10.
10?
And when did,
And that's if
the
they
the
keep
last
it 10
secretary
hours.
just left Monday, right? Or, okay, so there's no savings there. So, okay, so if we
And
have
she
to
said
double
she-
it,
she
so
said she wouldn't
basically,
have the salary,
instead of 27, we have to double that, right? So about 35. No, my math is way off on that one.
Yeah, that would be
55.
54. Yeah, 54, 55.
55.
But Jessica did more than just, she did our minutes, she did the permits, and then she did whatever else Tammy needed her to
Right,
do.
Right.
Like
Okay.
answering phones, answering questions, calling people.
All right,
Writing letters, mailing letters,
Yes.
mailing. She did
She
quite a
did, she
bit.
did more
She
than,
did.
okay.
She went above and beyond.
All right, so we're not sure, the nurse grant, any money?
Well, we haven't got the money. I've been in
Okay,
contact with Rachel Kane, with a email with Tammy, because she was originally, she was the applicant and put it together. And Rachel Kane from the state is saying that they're likely to be pushing that money out very soon now, even though it's been, she applied for that, applied for that weeks ago. So it looks like that's coming now. Whether or not that can be used,
Right.
in other words, it's not, I can tell you in other grant situations, you can't use that money to supplant existing
okay,
employees, So that's gonna be a problem. In other words, that was gonna be used for one full-time nurse here.
Yeah.
And for the 3 towns based in Southwick, my understanding,
right,
correct?
right.
and then one
Southwick.
part-time.
And
One
another
and a half.
half for the other 3 towns, but that would be Southwick Town and Granville,
Yeah.
the school district, basically. So that's my understanding how that grant worked.
Yeah.
Right, and Southwick would be doing the fiscal agent's responsibility?
yeah.
Okay.
Now, who has all the paperwork and everything? Who has a
Yeah,
copy
who
of
has a
the
copy of the
application?
grant?
Who has all
I've
I
never
that?
seen
actually
it.
have a copy of the grant. I just
You did?
got.
Oh, you
Yeah,
did?
I just got it, yeah. I
Okay.
just got it, yeah.
All right.
All right, so you have
So,
it.
so we got to find a secretary. That's the first thing. And we got to find the money, and if we can't, the other options here are finance reserve fund transfer, or try to supplement it somehow in the budget till we get to a special town meeting. So I would think,
Can they take anything out of the operations?
Yeah, can we take a consultant? We got $1,500 in a consultant.
It's
Well,
left.
when
Take that
Tom,
out of me.
Oh.
Why don't you take that out of me?
No, well-
What about education, conference, travel?
Education conference, 2,200.
That's what's left in the,
Yeah. So we could take some money out of there. But I didn't think that you could transfer money from
Yeah, I
operations
didn't
to
think so.
salary,
Yeah.
I didn't either.
We'll-
Unless you
we'll
go to
check.
town meeting.
okay?
And why is that?
Right.
Why? It's your budget.
It's your
You should be
budget,
able to move
yeah.
it around.
I think
So-
Board of Health is different then too, right, than other departments, because you guys,
Not
Kind of
really, not any
separate.
other fiscal reason, no, what is it the same?
No,
Other than
budget-wise,
appointment.
yeah.
operations.
Okay, so what we can do is, we'll check with Laura and Carl and say, can we take any of that money to cover salary? If they say no, then I think the most logical thing right away is to look for a reserve fund transfer. Because we don't have any special town meetings even planned. And even if we were to have one, it wouldn't be till,
May. It's a little
Yeah.
too
yeah,
late.
May would probably be the most,
Annual.
right. So that would only save you June, one week in May and June, so that doesn't make sense. Okay, so we've knocked off the contact tracing person, that's set.
Right,
Right,
So-
but that's also gonna decrease the pressure on any nurse that the nurse, because it's doing something that the nurse was doing before, so that's actually.
But,
Right.
but if we hire a nurse, they need to do the contract, they need to,
Why? Why would you need to do that?
why do we want to pay two people?
yeah,
Right, but
because
you wouldn't
It's
you
the
wouldn't be
reason
doing
why
it
the
as
last
much.
one quit.
Pardon me?
It's the reason why the last one
Yeah.
quit.
Yeah,
It's a lot of work,
That's
and,
true.
and,
If we have the
and
money
the,
for it,
yeah,
it was. way
Would it
too
be
overwhelming.
easy to
Yeah.
get a nurse now? Easier to get a nurse if they're not
I
doing
don't know,
that?
they're leaving the hospital left and right.
yeah,
yeah, so they're trying to reduce the pressure on whoever the nurse comes in, and this would be one way to do it.
All right, okay, all right, and then we could talk to them if they want to do it. Then they can.
Is there money for the nurse
The
left?
nurse, we have,
Yeah. Yes,
So we have the money
well,
there.
we have 2,960,
just
but
about 3,000, yeah.
we're gonna see if there's CARES money, but we don't think there is because they started going to our money.
Okay,
So I don't think there's anything left.
all right. Do you think that is enough for the nurse or no?
Well, we have to,
The majority of the work was contact tracing.
Oh, okay,
See,
You're
so
paying a nurse way more than
Exactly.
$20 an hour. So if
That's
you have somebody who's willing to
exactly-
do it for $20 an hour, you take a significant burden off somebody who's getting paid close to double that.
exactly.
Okay.
That's what I'm
Because
saying.
she was going way
Yes.
exceeding her hourly
Right.
commitment.
what were we paying her an hour? I forgot what we told her, was it 25?
Ooh,
No, this lady we just.
Valerie?
No,
Valerie,
Ashley,
20.
Ashley.
20.
Our health
actually,
nurse.
Oh,
Our health
okay.
nurse.
one that
Oh.
just,
Yeah, I have no idea.
It was close to like 35.
I don't remember what we said.
And how about Kate, if she was higher than that?
Don't remember what we.
Should you be talking salaries?
I don't know.
yeah, I think,
That's fine.
I think it's
It's
fine.
an
We're
overview.
talking about, looking at the budget and what the
we're not
difference would
talking
be.
specific people.
Right. Right, we're not, right,
Yeah,
You
we're
know.
talking people that used to, not
Yeah.
current.
this is similar to the discussions we have in the budget, say,
Yeah, you talked about my.
Yeah.
What I
No,
get
I don't see a price in here,
for what?
an hourly wage for our public health nurse.
We could check with Laura and find out what
right,
they were paying.
and then make sure that there's,
Well, I thought the public health nurse was going to come under that grant.
Well, some of those details need to be worked out. Yeah,
Right.
Yeah.
So if we can hire a full-time nurse for the 3 towns,
that says
she
nurse
would be
grant.
our public health nurse.
Is it 3 towns or 5 or 6 towns?
The nurse?
Six,
6
one and a half.
towns.
Well, the whole grant is for 6 towns, but split between the nurse and a half, one for Southwick, Collin, and Granville, and the other half-time person would be the other 3 towns, Blandford, Russell, and Montgomery, the way I understand it.
Okay, so could our health nurse be that nurse from the grant? We don't have to have a health nurse and then a health nurse from the grant,
I believe so.
and then we do have that too.
No, I believe so, we
No,
could do
the
that.
grant money will
Yeah, I
pay
believe
for
that. Yeah, that's the-
For
our
one
perfect.
full-time.
full-time
All
health
right.
nurse.
For a while.
Okay, so we should have funding for that, once we
Yes.
get the grant.
Yeah,
Right.
we should definitely.
Do we have a nurse?
No.
So we have to find a nurse
Oh,
too.
yeah, so the hiring thing, that, we got the money to hire a nurse and a half,
Okay,
and we haven't got that.
so
We haven't got this.
do
stage
we,
yet.
But do we go out and hire a nurse for us right now?
Well, as far as the grant, yes.
No, without the grant. We don't know
I
when
don't
we're
think
gonna
that-
get the grant money.
Well, no, we are gonna get the grant money.
But we don't know when.
It's imminent from.
Yeah,
My-
I mean, is
I,
it gonna be,
I think you still want
is it
to
gonna be,
post,
is it
you
gonna
know.
be this year, is it gonna be next year? But if we post that, we don't know what we're saying, whether it's gonna be just a part-time, like before COVID, what did they work, what did Kate say, 75 hours a year?
Right.
Before COVID?
Right.
But they'd be doing Southwick, Granville, and Tal.
Right, based here.
Right.
But that's
Yes.
with the grant, so I'm
Correct.
saying, do we wait for the grant and advertise for a nurse then? Or do we advertise for a nurse for Southwick part-time now?
If we do that, if we have Southwick's nurse now, and then 2 months down the road, we get the grant, then we're gonna say, oh, we don't need you anymore because now we're gonna hire a full-time
Okay,
person to
all right.
replace you.
So.
So I don't
we
think
should
that's
wait.
fair
We
to,
should wait, as long as
Yeah,
we have
to
someone to do
somebody.
contact tracing.
right. And
Yeah,
you
I agree
can
with
find out like when, and in the
yes, I would start to-
meantime, can we like get an ad out there to see if we have any applicants?
And we don't know yet,
But we don't know what they are going to do specifically.
and then we have
yeah.
to figure out
Yeah.
money-wise and
Yeah.
salary.
True.
And
So
then
you're
where are we
hung up
going
on
to-
the I mean,
Yeah.
you're
Yeah, it's
non-committal,
on
you can't do
hold.
anything.
I
And
think
then
the
where are we
nurse
going
would be
to-
on hold.
Where are we going to house this nurse?
Yeah.
Did Tammy share any vision of this? Because didn't she apply for the grant and things like that?
Yes,
Do you remember what she was intending or thinking, or was it just I'm gonna apply for the grant and we get it, we'll
yeah,
figure it
she
out
was,
from
actually, I
there?
think she was surprised that we
Yeah.
got it, because
Oh, okay,
we applied late, well, not late, but near the end, and she was
Yeah.
actually surprised we got it.
okay.
Well, is that office used anymore?
If we have to, we were getting ready to talk about repurposing that room.
Which room? Which room?
The,
Oh,
Right.
yeah,
We were talking about repurposing it, but we were thinking about moving different people because we're discussing bringing in an individual that would start to take over responsibilities for procurement, HR, things like that, and we haven't decided on a title yet, but basically one step below Carl. Because every other department, fire department, you have a chief, deputy chief. Police, you have a chief, lieutenant. School, right down through the thing. So we're pretty at a disadvantage. Like when Carl goes out on medical, like he did that time, I was sitting there, but I got a full-time job, and that doesn't work. Doesn't work. Not, it used to work maybe back in the 80s, but it doesn't work anymore now.
I can make an analogy between the health director too. I think it's the same thing, and I think I outlined that in the letter, that
Yeah.
we're one person outfit, there's no backup.
Right.
Until if I leave, go on vacation, if I get sick or the next person leaves, has to have an operation or something for a while.
Right.
And who's gonna be
That-
taking
right.
care?
look at Tammy left and
Right.
we
Thank
had
God
to
for
pull
Tom.
you out
So-
of the closet,
Okay,
you know?
but stop for a second.
But anyways.
So where is
it's-
there some room?
Well, we'll have to look at what's available throughout the whole building.
Mm.
We do have some space downstairs, all right,
Yeah.
that people have been using for different reasons. But we have some talented maintenance people. I mean, they just put up some beautiful storage lockers in the garage, that look very professional. And I'm sure there's been talk about partitioning some of those areas down there, And there's also talk about doing work in the senior center, to have, a privacy area when they have their foot doctor or whatever come in, things like that. So I think we'll have to look at that, but that,
Okay.
I think that'll be something that we'll have to talk about during budget season, We're in the final I shouldn't say final but we're starting to finalize the people that will be brought before the select board to replace Bob Johnson for that position, buildings and grounds. So that would be a good opportunity when that new person comes on board, to speak to him, and we can look at
And when's
it.
that gonna be?
I would imagine probably, I'm hoping before Christmas. I'm
Let's
hoping,
hope we'll have that.
Which Christmas?
yeah, I'm hoping Christmas 2021.
Okay.
We've been a little distracted lately,
Yeah,
Okay.
so now we're hoping to
All right,
get back on
then,
track.
then there's the $10,000 that to
entice, enhance.
give the person who's going to administer the grant and keep an eye on and all that stuff. We don't know that much about that. Tammy was kind of, I don't know, adamant, but she felt that she would, even though she's working for West Springfield, she would be administering that. But we weren't really, we don't want it to go through the cracks, but we hadn't voted, we hadn't decided.
Yeah.
My feeling is, now that I've thought about it, that I think it needs to stay in the town and
Yeah.
stay with our health director, so we know what's going on.
Yeah,
It's a $10,000 administrative.
administrative,
Yeah.
right,
So, but again, until we get that
grant,
cash.
Yeah.
It's
Yeah.
not even worth
That's-
talking about.
that's your decision, that's your decision, We're not gonna interrupt you or get involved in that, that's the Board of Health decision. Or it might be a case where, how long does the grant last, Tom? Is it just a
But
1 year?
I understand that it can be, it's every 2 years, it can be up for renewal up to 6 times.
Yeah.
That's what other ones are.
Yeah.
But that's what it is right now,
Yeah.
how
Yeah.
Boston decides that things
Right,
change,
right.
the budget doesn't look good, the
Yeah.
income. So
Yeah.
that's what it is right now,
Yeah.
but that could change. So-
Right, and well, maybe you might want to say, and if you don't get somebody on board right away, maybe you say, Tammy, well, you can administer it for the first 6 months until we get.
Right. Well, that's what I think that's kind of what we were talking about
And then
before.
just say, look, now that we got a new person on board and we feel more comfortable, we think we're going to take it back
Yeah,
over.
and I think she understood that too, I think in
Yeah.
our conversations that we had here.
Yeah, but until we actually physically get it, the money.
Yeah, and how
we
would
really
that,
can't
and how would
make
that work?
decision.
Would they say if Tammy did administer, does she submit to the board, I did X amount of hours, and then we have a check made out for her?
But that's just it, we
don't know.
can't control or,
Well, she's-
monitor
yeah,
in
we-
any way what she would be doing. It would just be like me, hey, Sue, you owe me $10.
Yeah.
For what?
Unless she has to fill out a report on a weekly basis or
Yeah.
whatever, and say, I spent X number of hours administering, to make sure Southwick, this was in Granville, this was in Tolland, this was the paperwork that was done, this is the checklist.
Yeah,
make
I think
Yeah.
we need to keep it in Southwick.
Oh,
Yeah.
I'm not arguing with you on that one.
So when we
you
get
know.
the money, we'll have to,
Well, can I
Yeah.
bring up something that's kind of related, and that is, on that grant, that there's a new round of grants, shared services, and I brought this up to the board before. There is an option that we've been told, towns, that if they added a town to an existing grant, like a shared services grant, which this is, we could apply, we wouldn't have to reapply, we could just put an addendum on the original contract. For example, having 2 more environmental health specialists, okay? But it would have to be more towns, like one more town. For example, West Springfield, we've been talking West Springfield. that has its pluses and minuses. And one of the pluses, you would possibly get 2 more people to be like floaters in circuit riders. The old days, we used to call them circuit riders, right?
Right.
They were working for conservation. And administrative help for small towns. They had people going around, they were funded from the state and they had expertise in doing certain things. They go to small towns and help, sort of the same thing, to help towns like ours and even smaller towns to assist in their public health needs. That is an option that I'm looking at right now. The problem is twofold. One is that it would need a fiscal agent. And so that would come with some burden, financial burden in the town. Numbers of
We
people
would
doing-
need our health director.
Excuse me?
What do you mean? We would need our health director when you say physical agent?
No, fiscal agent for the town would have to cut checks and all, you know.
Fiscal,
that-
okay,
that-
not
And
physical.
there is already implied for this nursing grant that Southwick would be doing that, right?
Yeah.
But the second issue is where we house these people. So before, and I think Russ and Terry can appreciate this being, you know, so it's pretty easy to apply for the money, but when you get the money, these kinds of issues are gonna come up and we have to solve those, but I'd rather solve them ahead of time and maybe delay applying for this grant until we have these details, which I think are big, worked out. Where are these people gonna be? And we have 5 or 6 other towns to be involved with this. And everybody wants, you know, everybody wants what they want and their needs. So let's not just, go forward too quickly on this. But they're dangling that in front of us right
Yeah.
now. And I'm trying to tamp it down a little bit because I have a lot more questions. So, but it's related to that grant for the nurses because they said we don't have to reapply, which is interesting. You just have to add, you just added like an addendum to the contract.
So they're saying you add an addendum to the contract and you pick up how many more towns? We already have
One,
6.
right,
All right, one more town.
Yeah.
And they'll give us what, 2 health agents?
Well, we would apply with benefits and, the same scenario. You'd add 40% to the cost of the agents. And of course, the other thing that we've been talking about is trying to find, there's 2 more people in this area to do that kind of work.
Yeah.
It's not
What happens if they give you the money and you can't find the people?
well, very good point. That's why, again, that's one of the reasons why I wouldn't want to rush in it for the town and burden them and the other towns with something that we haven't worked out all the details. Let's get our details, but they're saying, the applications are due in a couple of weeks, and it's like, I'm not ready. I don't think anybody's ready to
don't think
put
we're
that
ready.
down. But I just wanted to say that has something to do with the nursing grant, and I'm going to certainly follow up on that and get back to the select board on that. Well, you folks.
Okay.
Health director.
Health director position, that's the big one.
Okay, so
So has it been advertised?
Yes,
Okay, but we haven't, no applications?
we have
yes,
had,
3.
3.
yes, we've had 3, and I was gonna talk to the board about this one applicant. I think we should start.
But they don't have the
Advertising.
qualifications that we would really like Tammy or Tom had. Right?
Well, yes,
And we didn't put a
Salary.
salary in there?
To get the qualification, I'm sorry, I
No,
didn't mean to
no,
interrupt you.
okay.
To get the qualifications, I know, Tommy, a lifetime, but to the bare minimum or what you think would be the bare minimum, do they go to classes? Do they take seminars?
well, the qualifications that you have outlined are pretty lofty for this time, and certainly for the salary range. My personal opinion is that anybody with a minimum qualifications of Bachelor of Science in for example, environmental health or public health.
Yeah.
With the possibility that they could go on and get their RS and have their ability to get the other licenses that they would need, soil evaluators licenses, they all attainable.
Yeah.
So people that don't have all the qualifications right now could could get them by get mentoring or going to classes and doing things like that. But I mean, to get it walking through the door in today's market, I tell you, when the salary wasn't advertised, we still only had one person so apply, and the person was really qualified from Boston. But when the salary, when they heard what the salary, he said, that's, I'm not interested in that. So we have a choice to make. We could keep hoping for someone to meet that criteria at a salary range that we have right now, or lower expectations a little bit with the hope that and the firm hope that we could get them up to speed in X amount of time, maybe with some mentoring.
What's
People?
Okay, I would like to, right now, what was it, 60,000 to,
69, 60,900, Tammy was.
okay. But there was a range, and I think she started kind of in the middle or toward the end or whatever, which was still a lot more than she had been previously making. So what I would like to do is to have more money available and still not put a salary in here, but see who we get. And if we can't get anybody with all these qualifications, and to pay them 70,000, pay them what they're worth. And if they don't have all those qualifications, then okay, then drop it down to 62,000 or 63,000. But I would like to know, how can we get more money?
Well, again, the only options are, we were talking about the nurse grant. We were talking about taking out of the budget, reserve fund transfer, or a special town meeting. Those are our options, basically.
I'd like.
But I think the personnel board wouldn't have any problem. You know, I know what you're trying to do, and especially when we saw COVID and how the problems, I don't think you're gonna see a big argument from people to say, hey, we have to step up to the plate. You know, this is Southwick, Massachusetts. We're not really a small community anymore.
Right.
We're a growing community. But let me just say this, like our town accountants, we didn't always get a person that met all the criteria, but we invested in them. And we were very fortunate. Linda Carr, I hired her when she had very limited skills, but she was a go-getter. And she got all the qualifications before she left the town of Southwick, well before she left that. Laura's doing the same thing, getting all her credentials. Our town clerk has done that. Sue Gore has done that, you know. And what we did is we gave them, look, we're going to give you X number of years, but these are the goals we want to see every year. And we have them put that in their goals for that year. And I think that, what Tommy's saying, I think that might be a way to go, especially in this market, that things are tough. Things are very tough, you know, but I think there's some very talented people out there, maybe younger people, that we can groom, you know.
But if there's somebody out there that meets the qualifications, I want to be able to offer them a salary
Right.
comparable to what they get.
Well, what I was saying earlier, though, is that when the people didn't know what the salary was, and even though they did the qualifications, they still weren't applying. That's what I'm saying. So it's not just the fact that the qualifications are demanding. It's that there's a certain real tough job market for people getting in this business, and partly because of COVID. It's been a stressful 20 months or so.
the things that are missing as far as qualifications go, what are those types of things? You said something about the soil evaluation and RS, which I don't know what RS.
Registered sanitarian.
Okay. So, but, all right, and
I would like them to have an RS, I'd like them to have a soil evaluation.
but my question is, what are these for, like, new homes? Are these for septic?
The soil evaluator, yes, the person that witnesses for a test has to be a soil evaluator in Massachusetts.
Right, okay, but is there, and we charge the developer or the homeowner that dollar amount? Is there firms that actually would do that for a fee? Maybe we have a list of people that are
Yeah, like subcontractor.
subcontractors for the town.
We've done that in the past.
Yeah, so, you know, you could put it as your goal, but, you know, for the future, to get to that higher end. But in the meantime, for those things that are lacking, we can pick up the slack with them paying
Boy,
the
a
subcontract.
soil evaluator course is what, how many, what do you go to, 3 classes,
It's like
5
4
classes?
weeks, 4 weeks.
4 weeks?
Yeah.
Is it every day for 4 weeks?
So I mean, it's,
So
those are
we're gonna
only
hire,
those-
we're gonna hire somebody and then they're gonna be gone for 4 weeks to go to class?
Do they do it? I know, like for the assessors, we used to have to go full-time. Now everything's done on a computer,
Yeah,
you know?
yeah.
You can do it at night, you can do it in your spare time.
I know, but with soils, you kind of have to
Physical.
Right.
be physical and a field trip.
Yeah, not necessarily, but
But I think the also one is daunting is the master's preferred that you have in the job application too, and as well as the IRS.
Yeah, I think the masters is a little
No, you don't need a
extreme.
master's.
Yeah.
But you
It
have it
should
on
be.
there, so that may be.
So do
causing
you want to
people
look
go,
at it and
I don't want to,
tone it and
absolutely.
tune it down?
Yeah. And even the IRS, even though I agree with Sue, I think it's nice to have, it's kind of it's a national standard, and you have to take an exam for a national exam. You have to have a degree in science and years experience, but if the person is eligible for doing it, as long as they say in 18 months or whatever the board decides to as part of it, they are going for it, they will get it. I mean, that's done in other fields, so
Yeah.
I think that could be, you know, still attainable,
Right.
but not necessarily make it a hard and fast rule that you have to have an IRS before you get in, you know?
Now, you said we had 3 applications. One said absolutely not because of the salary. What about the other 2?
but were they coming from Boston too?
One
There was the
did,
one that said
and
no.
he was, he
The
But
city
you
of
don't sit with-
Boston, where he was probably making 6 figures.
Right, but
Yeah.
the thing is, you have to, when you have an applicant from Boston, you have to send them not the penny saver, but one of the realty things
Yeah.
there, so they can see that the
Show
houses are.
Yeah.
The housing is
The
half.
house and the
half as
yard,
much,
and you
yeah.
get whatever for
Right.
X
More
number
than
of
that.
dollars.
So the second one, we should interview, I think. Doesn't have all the qualifications, but I think that's definitely somebody we should interview. The third person would have been qualified, but he only could do part-time because he was going for his master's in Boston at Tufts. He was very interested, but obviously could not go full-time.
There was, yeah,
And
there's,
the other person hasn't submitted an application yet to express interest.
okay.
Fourth person.
And where are you
Okay.
sending these the
Oh.
inquiries out, or the ads out?
NHOA, what's their MAC, Public Health
Didn't you-
Association.
You were gonna put them on Zoom or
Facebook or something?
Facebook or something?
There are a lot of colleges around here. I mean, I don't, does that go to a college? Because there's a lot of them. I was looking at Springfield College, I went to school where my daughter went, and I was just quizzed her a
That's
little
actually
bit
good
today.
idea, Yeah.
There's not all, I mean, there's a couple things with public health and the stuff, but I didn't really see anything from like STCC, but, you know, there's a number of them around that, but they have those buckets there where you can, you know, you have an app, you put a help wanted into those things. And I was looking at Springfield colleges, and they had stuff all over the place, but, you know.
You can keep
Yeah,
it
try to roll.
advertising.
That's a
it.
good idea, actually.
Different
After
venues.
if the board, you want to tweak that application process and then resend it out to those same places we sent it before, with FERCog, MHOA, which is statewide. That would certainly work into the colleges as well.
Yeah,
But what do you talk about salary, then we keep the salary as it is, we don't,
There was nothing
Try to
in there on
increase it?
salary on
No,
any
we-
of those things that I saw.
yeah, we don't, well, we don't post a salary, but when they call, when they're inquiring, are we going to have more money available to us?
Well, that's why I put down that you're looking for $10,000 more, so a lot of
So that-
times, we put in a salary range, okay?
Mm.
And for Bob's position, we didn't get any applicants. So we increased the salary range, and we got 4 applicants, It's that kind of market right now.
Yeah, exactly.
It's that kind of market.
But we can't give a salary range unless you say,
Well, that's
You
why
can give us
we're gonna
the
go
extra.
Right,
back,
that's why they're here.
that we're gonna go
We're
back,
talking to them.
we're gonna
Right.
talk,
Yeah.
they're gonna talk, and we're gonna say, my personal recommendation is, I think we gotta do it.
Yeah.
I don't think we have any choice. This is a health issue.
Yeah, right.
Yeah.
And this is what's happening in the market. You just said it. I mean, Boston is 6 figures and we're headed that way,
But
So,
I don't want to, if the person, say, doesn't have all these qualifications, if we're looking at the applicants we have now, I don't want to offer them $75,000.
well, that's why we
We're not
arranged.
saying
That's
that
to
we
give-
have a range.
that's to give you a range.
We have a
Range.
range from
It-
62 to 72 or so.
Right,
Yes.
but here,
Yes.
you could do, Sue, here's the top, masters, this whole thing, boom, 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 experience. And here's the beginning salary range, because
Yeah.
there's some people out there, right, that are
Absolutely.
beginning, they want to get their foot in the door,
And they're sharp and they're motivated, but they don't have everything because they're so young.
right?
But if you see a lot of potential, they can learn it. And,
I remember a young kid years ago coming into my father's restaurant, just starting out.
He was never young.
I was never young.
now he just wants to shut it down? Is that-
Touche. Sue and I, 40 years ago.
My mother had saved, when your father passed away in the town, we used to write little things
Yeah,
like that.
yeah.
And I was going through my mother's stuff just like last week,
Yeah,
and she had saved your dad's.
yeah. Well, all those, they all went to school together,
Yeah, I know, I thought, and I remember
and,
going to your house as a kid.
right.
Yeah.
Well, we went to Spain together too,
That's
remember?
right, I know.
Oh,
We did.
international travelers?
Yeah, and Russ went twice,
Because I was the teacher's pet.
yeah.
No.
Yes.
Okay, so Terry, you're gonna give us more money.
Well-
Tom's gonna revamp that, and we're gonna take a look at it.
I'm gonna go back and recommend to the board that
Russ's-
we need to address the issue, and we're gonna talk to the finance committee and say,
Right.
look, this is what we need to achieve. Short of a special town meeting, how do we do it?
Essentially, Russ is going to bat for us.
Right.
And that's what we need.
Right.
And we need.
A secretary.
Right.
Speaking of
And
which,
we'll work on the nurse out with the contract.
With the contract.
when you're, you have a floater in, how busy is she?
Well, that's what I'm gonna look at,
Can
See,
you?
some of the floaters don't wanna work nights.
Well, at least for the permits.
Right,
If you have somebody here during the day that can just help us do
the permits,
these.
okay.
Okay?
Somebody to do the permits, and
Hey,
then,
but we could have a secretary Zoom, right? She could take the minutes on
Yeah.
Zoom.
well, she should just listen to
Yeah.
the tape
The
and
tape.
take a minute.
Yeah, you don't physically even have to be
Yeah, but God,
here.
who wants to listen? Fast
could do it.
forward,
There's people do it.
fast forward.
Yeah, so if we could just get somebody right now,
To help with the
Who
permits,
The
knows how to do
permits,
the money?
yes.
okay.
okay, like you have a floater, maybe if you could throw her a few hours toward us right now.
And Tommy, you'd be able to, or your past secretary could show her how to
Yes.
Yes.
to do it?
Yes.
Because those are checks, and
Yes.
we want them brought in.
Yes,
Absolutely.
but
Yeah.
Look
They
at, all
will
this
be.
money you guys can't have because we don't have a
Don't
secretary.
say that, we like money.
But if
They
you
will get it
can,
eventually.
if you can get your floater,
Yeah,
then
okay,
Just
floater
would
in the
be-
short time,
just would be
Right.
more available at more than just Tom's specific days.
Right.
You know, she could come in at any day,
But we need it right away because these
Yeah.
have to be
right,
done.
We got more coming in
Right.
every day, right?
Okay.
right.
And where do they
Right.
get come into?
But like Tom's not here tomorrow
Okay,
and, you know, so,
Short week next week.
and there's a short week next week,
All right.
so
Gene, where do those come
Little
into?
personal.
they come into the
Hmm?
Board of Health
Little
office.
Oh, they do, all right.
okay.
Okay, so if we could just get that little thing for now.
Who's gonna be
put
the
a Band-Aid
contact
on it.
person, Tom or you?
For the,
For the
another
floater?
person.
That would be me,
Okay.
because
You're-
I'm
Okay.
here, I'm at least here
Right.
for a little time during the day,
Okay,
okay?
Now, my question is, as I mentioned previously, was we have Finance Committee's next meeting is
November 30th.
the 30th, which is next Tuesday.
a week from
A
Tuesday.
week from Tuesday.
You're
Next week's
missing Thanksgiving.
Oh, that
We
week,
gotta get through Thanksgiving first.
this is what happens when you retire. You're like, oh, what week am I? Well, I don't know what day it is anymore. Okay, so it's a week from Tuesday. Is there, I'm only one person, and I can plead your case for getting this, but I think it would be good for someone to come in, or people to come in and just, you don't have to go through all of the stuff about even the grants and some of that other stuff. But to answer some questions and, you know, just to kind of tell what's happening. And I
Is
mean, I will
that-
say, I walked in here and you guys need a secretary like
Tom, will you
now.
be back?
Right.
Finance now, is that a Zoom hybrid or is it in
Will you be
person?
back
It's
by
both,
November
yeah.
30th?
We
So
do
it's
Zoom.
hybrid,
Yeah, it's
No,
hybrid, yeah.
December 4th.
and that's at what
No.
time? It's 11:30
We actually-
at,
What's that?
Tom has
the
to
date
take a
is
week.
11:30
yeah.
at, what time do you
I had a
start?
5:30 is when we start, but
At
somebody
5:30.
would
Okay,
have
what's the
to,
next meeting after November 30th?
not set yet.
Because
I'd
we
happy
won't be able to
with
make that
I-
one.
Which is, I wanted to bring up the other issue.
But it's
when I
Zoom,
leave.
it could be
Right.
Zoom too.
No,
Yeah, I'll be
Tom will
out
be
on
able to
the
do it.
road, yeah, I'll be out of the area.
Yeah.
And I had it planned long before I knew I was coming back to the.
Yeah, and again, you know,
But I
it's
think,
not really gonna happen,
right, but
we're not gonna be
this,
voting on
this
it.
10,000, that's if we found somebody with this master's,
Right.
right?
Right.
So this is kind of like a
Ongoing
If.
process right
If.
now.
if.
Yeah.
If we had to go,
Right.
and we want the masters, we'd need 10,000 more. But there's a possibility that,
but then who knows, maybe these people will want more, like you were saying.
how much, well, just out of
Money
curiosity,
talks.
how much more did Tammy get going to East Long Meadow? Anybody know? We could
Is it
check.
about 10 more? I think someone had said about 10 more.
Yeah,
But also, she now is in charge of a department, she has people working under her.
Okay,
Here you're one
One
person.
person.
24/7.
but the point is, this one person 24/7 does a lot,
right,
just like the building inspector.
yeah,
And their salaries weren't comparable.
yeah,
So I think that could have been,
a little friction,
not necessarily friction, but
Right.
maybe,
yeah,
you know, I'm not as good as you because,
yeah,
you know,
And
Yeah.
also, I think health director, health department is a little more critical. I mean, I know building is important too, but it's a little more critical, but you have to be available
Yeah, well, especially in these times.
right.
right.
when things are coming up.
I think we were very fortunate, we had Tommy, and then we had Tammy, you know.
Now we need it.
We got a little spoiled.
Yeah, we need
Somebody
another
else with
T
a-
person.
We need a Timmy next.
A Timmy, yeah, Tommy, Tammy, Timmy.
But we did have a Tom.
Yeah, he was one, yeah, he was qualified too.
From
Yeah,
Boston.
the
Tom was
12,
qualified, but
the
he's from
Tom's from
Boston.
Boston, but
Yeah.
he's not
He
gonna.
wasn't gonna do that.
Take his address and send him a realty thing. He may be
Yeah.
looking for that change.
Yeah.
Get out of Boston. Union Oyster House.
Okay, so
We got a plan,
All right.
Russ, I appreciate what you're doing for
Oh,
us.
yeah.
all right,
Really
and-
appreciate it.
we're gonna see if we
And the
can't get a
Finance
floater up
Committee,
here
Mr.
right
Nish?
away.
Nish?
I'm gonna talk, you know, I will talk
So
to
you'll
the
get a
board
hold of Gene
about
about
kind of
that.
what,
Yeah,
prime the
I'll
pump.
talk to Carl tomorrow
Yeah,
morning,
you
with
prime the
Jessica.
pump. and
See if
then
we
we'll
can
I'll be
figure
happy to
that
come,
out.
because I won't be back.
first
Yes.
thing.
Thanksgiving to the
And then
fourth.
nurse will
Yeah,
wait
we're
till we
not-
get
I
the
mean-
grant.
Yeah,
you guys
Yeah.
get your,
Now that we have contact
get your
tracing.
person hired. I
and
mean, I don't,
All right,
Okay,
kids have
Thank you,
fun.
Russ.
No, I'm not
Thank
sure,
you.
like, if we interview our applicants, but we don't have to make any decisions, right? We could just keep the
No.
application period open?
yes, it's
Oh,
open
yeah.
until filled. It's, the application's open
Okay,
for perpetuity at this point.
You guys just interview, you don't have
Yeah.
a pre-screening group and
No.
then they bring you?
No,
No,
no.
Yeah.
No,
no,
okay,
okay.
and the
not
questions,
necessary.
we're basically using the questions that we used last time for Tammy. Do they still have to be reviewed? McKinsey just kind of,
If
Clean
they've
them up a
already
little
been
bit.
reviewed by Labor Council, you
Labor
don't have to.
okay, we don't
Review them
review it
again.
again, all right.
Right.
Okay,
well, I
That's the
guess-
whole thing. You always review everything by Labor Council in this day and age.
Okay,
Yeah.
so
Thank you.
we can do the ones we did before, and McKinsey just cleaned them up and got rid of them, the
Yeah.
fictitious ones.
Then the other thing would be is liaison. Your budget other than that, or you don't see any big boost in something else that you're gonna need, like adding the, what is it, taking the, the poisonous stuff, having the day of
hazardous
that,
waste,
or
No, that's-
anything.
Yeah, we put-
that
yeah.
goes over to Westfield now.
Yeah.
We used to have it, but no,
Hazardous
we
waste day, we don't need it
anymore. Since
anymore.
they got there, we
Yep.
shifted it over there.
No, but
so-
that's what I'm saying, is there anything else that you
No.
guys see?
Yeah.
Because that's,
Well, one thing I'd like to see the health director have a official town
That'd be
vehicle
nice.
that they use. when-
oh.
Now, I'm not saying to
Gracious.
take home,
Yeah.
but it's here
Right,
so that when they go out, that town seal is on the vehicle. And I said that
Yeah.
the last time,
Right.
I'm gonna say it again.
I
right.
don't disagree.
But Tammy declined that,
I know, but.
because she didn't want that visibility of,
But
Yeah.
you're a town
Just the
official,
personality,
you're
yeah.
going out there, you know?
I know,
Yeah.
but don't forget, she did get a compensation for personal use of vehicle,
Right, and we do that for Randy,
right,
but he basically sits in an office,
Yeah.
okay? But when he does go on official business,
he has.
he
his
takes a
day.
town car, he takes one of the cars, you know? So
Mhm.
I'm just saying, building inspector has one, police have
Yeah.
one, fire have one. I think it.
Well, that'd
they
be a
should
nice
have one.
benefit too.
Right,
Yeah.
To
and
add
it,
to the
right, it is
packet.
Yeah.
it is a benefit.
That's
Some
true.
people like the other package better, but I
Yeah.
still think for visibility, when you're out
Yeah.
there, you're inspecting, people see that. I think it's, to me, I like it better.
Okay, before you leave, so depending upon how long it takes to fill this health director position, and say if we have Tom until next fiscal year, then we probably will need more money in our budget to cover Tom.
Right,
Okay. Also, if we do hire somebody who has to go through training,
you're gonna have to use Tom. Right, keep Tom on.
but where do we get that money for that person for training? We have a
Oh.
little in education, but where does that money come
Yeah.
from to send them to
We're-
school?
we're- It's just like we do it with Laura and for Sue and everybody.
So where does
It's
the money
right in
come
your
from?
budget. It's
Yeah,
right
but
in
we
your
don't
budget.
have a
But we
lot
don't,
in
we
the
don't have that in the
budget.
budget, and we don't know what to ask
Yeah.
for to put in the budget, because we don't know what they're gonna
Yeah,
need.
what
I-
the training they're going to need.
I think you could probably look, at what we did is we looked at like Westfield State, like, for example, Randy Brown went up and just audited courses. So that's a lower price than actually taking the course. And
But did
getting-
he get certified? We need
No,
a
right,
certification.
no, but I mean, for certification, you might have to actually take
Take
that
the
course.
course.
But I guess you could just call around her and see what it costs.
Yeah, that would probably be
There's
something.
but
we need
Russ,
an
there's a lot of
increase in.
training online.
Yeah.
Public health, BU has a good training program, module that does, housing, lead paint inspection. There's a lot of things I was taking it when I was here, online. And you had to actually have like a class, you got marks, you got to put, you got to, if you had to get 90%, you had to get 9 out of 10 questions, right, or you couldn't go, you didn't get a certificate.
Right.
So, and that's,
Not like
that's
the
free,
ethics,
just
not
other
like
than-
the ethics one.
But then you,
But that's how my
No, it's
daughter.
not the ethics
But
one.
isn't
You
there-
actually-
Daughter did her junior year last year.
You know, it's.
UMass, all online,
Yeah,
Yeah.
you know?
but you still have to
There's
pay
a
for it.
soil
We still have to pay
evaluator
for it.
class
You gotta pay for it,
online,
so-
it's 1 day a week,
But.
for 8
but-
weeks. You
Yeah,
have to
for
do
8 weeks,
3
yeah.
in-session you know, it's
Right.
doable. It's not like 4 weeks straight where this person's unavailable.
True, yes. But it's just
Nowadays,
eight-
it's more like you
Yeah,
can
You
do
still
it.
have to have
stuff,
money
yeah.
up front for them to pay, and
Yeah, but it's not-
we're
but
paying
it's not-
for it, or are they gonna pay for it?
No, we.
I think you're gonna
If
pay
you
for it.
require it, I think
Yeah.
by law.
Right.
Yeah.
I think it's
But
better
it
to
used to be
set
when I
goals
took it-
for
I
people
took it.
and say, okay,
5
look,
years ago.
we need you to get this certificate. If you get that certificate, you're gonna get an increase in pay. It's like the DPW. You get a hoisting license, you get an increase in your pay. You get this license, you get another increase in your pay.
Right,
All
know?
right, do you ever get a point, ever get a situation where they get their certificate, we're paying for it, and then they go leave?
Well, we do in some agreements have a clawback. Okay, we did that with the paramedics.
Right.
Okay? All right, we're gonna pay you to get that, go from EMT to paramedic. But you have to stay with the town of Southwick for X number of years. If not,
then you pay back.
we want that money
You
back.
could build that
or a
into a
certain-
contract. for
Yeah.
that.
Right, a certain
Yes.
portion of that. And that can all be worked out with Labor Council. You can
Right.
have access to Labor Council
Mhm.
for that contract, okay? And she is very good, excellent attorney, and she will work with you.
Right.
You can have access to her. All you gotta do is put in the request to Carl and he'll set it up.
We have
But you
that.
can talk about, we want you to
We
take
have that
X
with
number
the-
of courses, but you
bus
gotta stay here
drivers.
so long.
We train bus people to get their CDL to drive a school bus with the understanding that you have to be employed with us for 1 year.
Yeah.
If not, you pay back $3,000.
Right.
So
Okay,
you could do something like that.
Everybody's doing
But,
it.
but to get them to pay it back, you take them to court, and there's your $3,000, you're paying your attorney to get back
That's,
but
$3,000.
it's-
usually they've built up benefits or something like that, or vacation pay or pay,
Yeah.
the lawyers are good at that.
Yeah.
The lawyers are good at that. I'm sure there's always gonna be that one person that's gonna try to do something,
Right.
but,
Plus, they don't want to, why would you want to burn
right,
bridges with that
yeah,
town?
and
if
get that
you're-
bad
If you're
record,
trying to move up,
right,
you know,
Right, then
you don't
you-
want to do
yeah.
that.
yeah,
Yeah, so
Because you may
your
not go any further
references
than
would
that.
be limited.
right, when they call, they wouldn't be getting a good reference.
Okay,
Okay.
so Terry, we won't be able to make the November.
No, that's
30th.
fine. I will
We'll have
tell,
to
I'll
wait
tell
till-
Nina that, yeah.
But
I
you'll
told
go
her.
to bat for us?
Yeah, I'm going to tell them, I mean, we didn't really have a whole heck of a lot
And-
on that.
Russ is
I'll
going
think
to hire us a secretary. If not, he's gonna do the work himself. Is that
Oh,
what I
yeah,
heard?
that's
Oh,
right.
Sue, oh, Sue.
Yeah.
I gotta do the rec center paperwork apparently.
Yeah.
That's right, what is,
Yeah,
what's
you need
Sue?
to hire a
How about
secretary.
your wife Sue? She want another job?
Are you kidding me?
It's a cable advisory committee.
Yeah.
Don't talk to her
I
about
already got accused of other things,
it.
You hire her. Not me.
All right.
You okay, Terry?
So if
Yeah,
you
yeah,
want-
yeah.
But no, she'd
Okay.
probably love to do it, but
No.
but certain people with cry out
Appreciate it.
nepotism, it's not worth it.
Okay,
All right.
so
Thank
Tom,
you
I'm
very
hoping you
much.
don't have a report because I'm.
I do, but I can be shorter.
Because I'm, yes,
Yeah.
very short. Okay,
Okay, well, what's on our list here?
I don't know.
Okay,
All right, Mr. Mish?
No, those knees, this weather just is so,
You can get new ones
Conducive.
these days,
what's that?
You can get new ones these days.
I've gotten,
Oh.
It's the
titanium
temperature
doesn't
change.
like this
Yeah.
weather.
The barometric change doesn't do
Yeah.
well with those.
well, we have
Oh,
elevators.
really? Wow,
Yes.
okay.
I could use it.
Thank you.
You're
Take
welcome.
care.
Thanks.
Thanks very
Thank you
much.
very much for coming.
You guys have been under a lot of pressure, and we appreciate
yeah.
the job you do, because it hasn't been easy with this.
Same goes for you.
Yeah,
Yeah,
thank you.
okay.
Well,
Okay,
You
Tom,
want to table, the only other thing I had regarding
That's
this is that,
important.
yes, that's important, is that I did ask Mr. Cyril to cover me when I was gone. But if he comes in, I think he should get paid.
$50 an hour,
Oh, excuse me, yeah. I
yeah,
mean,
same as you.
That's exactly what I
What
was
was
thinking.
he
Only-
getting?
But don't forget, he's not gonna be, he may not come at all, you know, it depends on what's going on. It's mostly Title V, of course. Some unusual housing issue, you know, this is a person that is a registered sanitarian, has worked, he was a assistant health director in Westfield.
And how long are you gonna be gone, Tom?
It's about from the Thanksgiving to the 4th December. A week,
Okay.
driving south and back. Mostly driving,
Yes.
so I have to do it, it's not something like.
Okay,
It's
do you-
not vacation.
Do you know
really.
what Barry, I don't know, is this something that could be on the, do you know what he was getting paid before? Or
No.
Does he submit a bill? How does that work?
No, that's why I brought the second thing, he wasn't getting paid before. In my estimation, and talking to him, I think Tammy asked him a few times, when she was gone for a weekend, if he would, you know, he'd be available, and it just wasn't necessary. But
Do you
I
want to
think-
ask him what he charges?
Yeah, I think it's
Can we
gonna
do
be the
that
same.
first?
Yeah,
To
it's gonna be the
do
same.
if called?
Yes.
Or
Oh, yeah.
as a standby?
Oh, no, it's a standby, yeah, no, it's called, you're right. If-
Only if he's called, then we pay him.
Absolutely, right,
Okay.
so it's not gonna be,
Okay.
it's not gonna be,
And Karen has his contact information?
you get it, that's why I got that, I just, like, Karen, oh, no, he will, but I didn't do anything yet until I talked to
Okay.
you, I mean, I just
Yeah.
got blank copies to see if you're gonna allow it, I just don't wanna leave you, because I'll be out of
Yeah.
town, and you need somebody to physically be there,
Right.
and,
No, I have no
and
problem.
again, I don't think that it'll be, if there's much, and if, you know, in the past, you know, we used to do it, I used to help out Westfield, they go to
Septic
Agawam, and-
inspection or,
but for one or two things, but if it's a little bit longer, you know, you can't ask people to come in there and,
Right.
you know, for hours and do something. But he has, you know, he's got all the credentials, and he's been doing housing for years
So it'd
too.
just be like it was before, he used to cover you before.
Exactly,
Yeah,
exactly,
But
So he
this,
would just be like a 1099 employee.
yes.
So I think that's a great idea. So if you're ever not around. then-
Well, I mean, I'm going away on this.
Right, I
Yeah.
mean, moving forward in
But
the
yes,
future.
but I mean, even, it's not just for me now, it's for the next person, gotta have a backup, and that's what I was trying to get across to them, is that you can't just, you
Right.
can't have no one backing us up, because we could get sick, I mean, I could say it, I could be sick, and the next person could get sick or have an operation and stuff, and not be around for a month. You still want the job, but what are you gonna do for a month? Well, it'd be nice you had somebody that you already kind of knew was gonna back you up.
now does Barry still work for Westfield?
So,
Okay. Yeah, we just came out of the consultant.
yeah.
I have
He
no
just
problem
submits a
with that.
bill
Good.
to us.
That's great, that's great. So that was the other big thing, was because there was an
All
employee.
right, so then we just need his contact information, and Karen needs it in case she gets any calls to get a.
And I gotta send them that employee information, part-time. That's what, for Valerie and Barry. I'm gonna send those both out to them. Or I'll see,
Okay.
Barry, I got a perk test with him on Tuesday.
All right, so let's not schedule any perk tests while you're gone.
Right,
It would
Right.
just be if there's
right,
a septic
absolutely, right.
installation or
I'm
if
getting,
there's
I
a
have 4 in
emergency
before I
housing
leave,
thing.
so,
Mhm.
yeah. It would have to be something, I mean, very unusual, maybe to finish, to close the system up or something like that.
All right.
He lives right over the line in Southampton. What's that? Well, my report, besides what we talked about,
Yeah,
okay, final inspection of 36 North Long Yard Road. Red Riding Hood's basket, there's intended to talk to a couple that is gonna purchase Red Riding Hood's basket. And they're gonna open it up, so they came in and asked me
so
some
a
questions.
new owner,
Correct.
that's the third
So-
owner.
I talked to them, and they're gonna, you know, it's not gonna be, you know, overnight, but next couple of weeks they wanna open, so I'll do a pre-inspection opening with them and make sure they have all the credentials, you know, I've already talked to them, and I think they do. So that's it. I was asked to be on, as Tammy was, on the short-term rental subcommittee, so I said, sure, I'll go on.
What is it?
I think it has to do, you know, a couple years ago, the government had a there's some issue about you could rent houses, you could rent your own house under certain circumstances, and there was money, that, you know, you had to pay taxes, and, you know, it's kind of like, you remember a few years ago, the Airbnb
Yeah.
issue with, the towns were concerned about short-term rentals and declining housing quality and issues with people going into houses and short-term and causing disturbances. So they're trying to develop, I think probably ended up being a bylaw from this committee about how to
Is
manage
this
this.
Southwick?
Yeah, this is.
Oh,
yeah,
this is in
Southwick, yeah,
Southwick.
Yeah. So this is probably gonna generate a bylaw act to be part of the.
And how,
the
and
town.
who's that, who's on this committee?
Don't know, but John and Megan asked me when,
So a
to be on it.
bylaw that would allow Airbnbs and have regulations?
Yes,
Okay.
yes,
All right.
because I mean, there's a host of really good ideas about,
Okay.
are you gonna, how many people are you gonna bring in there, how long they're gonna be there, is adequate parking, for instance, is that septic, is that sewer? Noise issues, so I'm sure that there's gonna be somebody from the police department on there, adequate parking, you're not gonna park in the street. And of course, there's also the issue of revenue. They would, once they're, on the list, they would be required to pay some money.
Taxes.
Exactly, so.
That's
there's
what
a-
it came
So anyway,
in.
that's it, the last thing, working on a vaccine clinic for, and actually, myself at the school to, do something with the 5 to 12-year-olds. And, next couple of weeks, we'll be doing it, probably powder.
How about what's this body art?
Oh, okay, yeah, we have an applicant that wants to open a body art. Yeah, it looks like Ryan's.
I thought that was licensed by the state.
I did too. I thought they took over. Remember
Yeah.
We made regulations.
We have regulations,
We
And
have.
then the state took over that.
yeah, but we still have local regulations. I think that would be in addition to it. But the person's licensed to do it, but I don't know if did you want to delete the regulations that you have, because it's in our regulations, they were never finalized to be.
Because, I think we made them because the state didn't have any, and then the state came out
And
with
it's-
some.
Yeah,
I
So
think
we
there was,
said-
I think there still is inspectional component, but I pulled those regulations out that was in the, I have a book that had all the, all the regulations.
well, I wouldn't object to,
I would certainly look into that.
Do we license them? Or
Not
just
We haven't had any.
licensed,
See,
no.
this is the first one, we've never had one.
Yeah, but I wouldn't object to an inspection, especially in
Right,
You
but
know,
if,
Body art,
right, but
at minimum.
but if the state is in charge of it,
well, let me give you an analogy. Well drillers. Well drillers are licensed by the state, but we still issue a permit and approve
Right.
their drilling, even though they have to be licensed well driller, and that goes by the state, so then this could be the same analogy, that they have to be licensed to be that body art practitioner, but the actual local business has to be inspected.
Yeah.
But I'll look into
the
it if it's not.
application and everything.
Yeah, I did, I
attached to
sent
it?
it all
Yeah.
stuff, but I will look into that. I thought, my impression was it was still in the books. I mean, it's still in our regulations, that was still active,
Yeah,
but we've never had,
Probably is.
an
body
applicant, nobody, ever- so
Yeah.
it was just sitting there for years.
I just remember, yeah, we did a lot of work writing them.
Writing
and
it.
then
So
the
Yeah.
state
I'll
took
definitely look
over.
into that. So,
Are
yeah,
those all your papers?
Yeah.
Don't leave them
Hey,
here, okay?
okay, how many
Oh, yeah.
COVID cases does anybody know that we had last week?
I think she sent it
Ashley sent that, but it was,
And it
I
was
couldn't blow it up.
an increase from the week before. I don't know.
Peter, do you know how many
Increase.
COVID cases?
No, I normally learn that from you guys.
Oh,
Peter's sleeping.
all right. It was sent to us, but I haven't opened it up. Peter, do you have any questions? Peter, do you have questions?
I'm so sorry, I was muted. No questions, but normally I, or I would like to, hear the COVID numbers if you do have them.
Nobody has.
Well, I have them here on my phone, but I can't see it because they're too small
you
here.
can get those from the MDPH website too.
Do you go on the Mass Department of Public Health website?
That's
Oh,
where
they've been posted there already?
Yeah,
Well, don't they update every Friday? Is it every Friday? Wait a minute, Mackenzie's looking it up.
Yeah, Mackenzie, you got it on your phone?
25.
25 for what period, time period? Can you tell? I can't even open it.
It just says 11/4/2021. Doesn't have a time, like a
But the week before, was it a 1 week before, Mackenzie?
10/28, yes, 1 week before,
So a week,
22 cases.
Yeah,
so
okay.
up 3 cases.
of 3 cases, so
So what is it again? So Peter can have it, but it's
25,
25.
In the last week or 2 weeks?
week.
1 week.
Okay.
Any other questions, Peter?
Does that include what the new like pandemic total is?
I don't know.
I don't understand.
Yep,
the
yeah,
clerk.
hold on,
Wait a minute.
8/14.
Day 14, okay.
Something like that. What do you think about it?
All right,
It's
um,
8:14 total.
okay. And
Wow.
I don't know if Tom went over or not already, but I also want to, if there's any more information about that, Southwick Regional School or the Powder Mill School, I think he said, vaccine clinic.
Yes, they're setting one up in concert with our nurse at a date to be determined, and possibly 2 dates for, the child 5 to 12.
How about any booster?
They had a booster for adults.
Yeah, are they planning another one?
They just had one.
Okay.
Yeah. So that, yeah, so yeah, just stay tuned, but it's definitely gonna happen. It's for Southwick
Okay.
Town, and probably within the next couple of weeks. If you like, I can give you some information as soon as I get it. It hasn't been finalized yet, the dates, but it is gonna happen, and it's gonna be soon.
Okay. Tom, do you have an email I can reach you at?
Absolutely. T. Fitzgerald at southwickma.net.
Thank you very much. That's all I got for you.
So who's in
Welcome.
charge of this clinic? Who'll be in charge of the
Ashley
schools?
and Marcia Lamro, they're coordinated, the 2
Oh,
nurses.
our Ashley?
Yes, yes, Ashley's still working.
Okay, she's still doing that stuff.
Yeah.
Okay,
Yeah.
okay, good.
Also, I found out how much we pay her, and it is exactly double.
Yeah, that's why I thought it'd be,
That's, yeah, she just can't do all
no,
of
and
it.
then you got somebody that can, I think it makes sense to.
So our next meeting will be, anybody have a calendar?
January?
No, December. You just
Oh.
skipped a month.
December 2nd.
December 2nd.
First
Yeah,
Thursday.
I'll be
At,
here, yeah.
do we want to do it at 6 so we can get out
Tom
earlier?
won't
I won't
be
be here,
here.
I'm not coming back
Oh,
to the
December,
4th.
4.
You can still have the meeting without me. Sure.
No.
Yeah.
Can we
No.
change it to the second?
I can't do the second,
Second Thursday?
I will be away on a trip.
On the second Thursday?
on the second
Yeah,
Thursday.
the 9th of December.
What's the next 16th? So
16th is the 3rd.
16th?
All right, we'll do the 16th
The
unless something
16th.
comes up.
Yeah,
and
I
we have
mean,
to.
Yeah.
you can always to have an emergency meeting
16th,
if something
and
comes
we'll
up.
do it at 6
Yeah, if
o'clock.
Something,
6 o'clock, okay, so the earlier?
Okay,
whenever 6 o'clock.
16th
Yeah,
at
is that
6
all right? Is
o'clock,
that a 7?
because
Can you do
it's good
Mackenzie?
start.
Can you do 6?
know.
Yeah, I actually totally forgot to come today. That's my
Well,
apologies.
you mean for the,
Yeah,
six-
I didn't realize.
well, we
that
didn't,
we
you
agreed
All
know,
right, so
on
is 6 o'clock all right for everybody
Yes,
to meet?
yes.
yes.
And Tom, that'll give you more time to get the application all set, to find out about the grant, to, kind of get our ducks in a row so we can
Well,
have.
Tom's gonna be gone for a week.
Yeah,
starting next
but,
week.
but that'll be
it'll
3
for the next
weeks, that'll
meeting?
give him
Oh,
3
yeah, I'll have
weeks
it.
for the next
Yeah.
meeting.
Okay, all right.
Okay.
Yeah, I'll have.
All right.
Okay.
Okay, so we're all set that I make a motion, we adjourn at 8:30.
8:30, I second that motion.
Mackenzie Kane, yes.
Jean Nilsson, yes.
Sue Broski, yes.
Okay, everybody have a good night.
Peter.
Good night. Thanks, Vicky.